Hello, folks. We are here at. Wow, it's very loud. We are here at Mox Boarding House. Welcome to a. Oh wait, there you go. Welcome to Legacy Mondays at Mox Boarding House.
Yep, right here coming at you today. We got 4 rounds of Legacy, live and in paper, from the Car Kingdom Ballard location. Looks like we've got about 30 people in the room about to start battling. It's going to come into it in about a couple minutes. We're just getting pairings
Yep.
finalized. We're getting our judges are on it.
Yeah.
And yeah,
So I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Lee Hung Nguyen.
yeah, I am Kelvin Wallace. Yeah, let's go. Core 2020 came out like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks
Oh
ago. This point.
yes, M Core. Yeah, M Core
Yeah,
set M20. We got a few bunch of things to talk about tonight. We have
yeah.
Core set. All the new cards. See if they're flooding into Legacy. We also have the Legacy Preservation series that happened on the weekend.
Yep.
We also have Comic Con that happened on the weekend as well.
Oh yeah, SDCC. We've got some good, cool announcements from the WotC staff out of the San Diego Comic Con too. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'm excited for the new set. They say think I read a blogger talk by Maro there. He said that there's no fairies or there is fairies.
I
I'm
think
not
there's
sure.
going to be fairies. It's just not going to be fairy focused.
Okay, I'm really excited for that.
Yeah, because a lot of the marketing materials look like there's fairies everywhere. But yeah, he says there will be fairies, just not a fairy plane.
Not, yeah. Well, I'm excited. I don't think do we even have a fairy planeswalker?
No, not that I don't think so.
No. It'd be pretty cool. I know that
Interesting.
they've been trying to experiment with the type of planeswalkers they're having for each set, but I think a fairy planeswalker would be pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
Appeal to those masses, appeal to those commander makers.
I mean, have a planeswalker that actually has a creature type.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, they'll be new. Okay,
Okay.
so we don't really know meta tonight, but we have some familiar names.
Yeah. So
How about we get?
I mean, Tessier is playing Mystic Forge. If you want to do that,
Hmm,
pretty sure Rachel's on 4 color Ren pile of some sort. Matt thinks on Painter.
okay.
Ian's on Sneak. Robin is just on Steel Stompy like he normally is. We got a couple lands players.
Okay.
Chris is on a 4 color Ren pile. Joey's on Burn. Chester is on Blade.
Okay.
Miranda is, I think she's on Red Maverick, also playing Ren and Six.
Let's get Miranda up. Just because
Yeah,
I think a bit of random six action would be pretty cool, right?
yeah. Oh yes, table 10. We need to get a judge.
Hey, Judge. We get table 10. Yeah. Oh yeah, we can keep this one. All right, let's talk about. So Miranda's generally on. You said Red John.
I think she's on
Red Maverick.
So Naya Maverick, both Ren and Six. Okay, I don't think Ren and Six is going to be banned. It's just too fair, too slow of a card.
So what's the question that was asked?
It's in the chat. Mr. God owes me money. I like that. That's a good Twitch tag.
Hmm.
I don't think so. What do you think about that one?
Yeah. So got one of the users in chat asked, "What do you guys think about possibility of legacy ban of Red and Six?" I think Red and Six is a not a balanced Deathright Shaman, but it's a good card. It's like a very strong potential power level of Deathright Shaman, but it's not Deathright Shaman. Deathright
Yeah.
is way too strong.
Also, it's costing 2 mana. Also, rebuys a land, so you need to have the wasteland, even though it does functionally generate mana and card advantage.
Hmm.
It is a 2 mana planeswalker that's vulnerable to a lot of removal, so I don't see it. But also, being it's kind of color restrictive. It's not like Deathrite Shaman, which you could just jam in a 4 color pile deck and cast off Underground Sea.
Hmm.
You need to be playing red green, which is usually a color combination that's underpowered unless you're playing lands or loam strategies.
Definitely, yeah. I think it's powerful. I don't think it's legacy bandworthy, but then again, I think Red and Six is probably potentially on a power level of like the other planeswalkers that have played in legacy as well, like
Yeah, oh
Last
yeah.
Hope and Liliana. All right, let's switch it over to the match table. Let's see if they're setting up here. Alrighty, cool. We're gonna put some names in here and fill out these names correctly.
Yeah,
We got that's
I think that's Miranda.
Miranda. You want to type it in?
Yeah. I cannot say. Oh, look, auto.
Yep, and then we'll go space.
Yeah, and I am pretty sure she is playing Red Maverick,
Okay.
and I think Sean is on some form of Delver, some form of Red Delver,
Um,
but I am not completely sure.
Sean. Yeah. Okay, that's Sean. Gotcha. I'm gonna put a question mark for now.
Yeah.
Alright, got the names in there.
Yeah. So last time we had Miranda on camera playing this deck, it's like absolute blowout against Steel Stompy. It's just the old turn one land go into Steel Stompy, turn one Tomb, Steel Overseer,
Mm-hmm.
Ren, ping it. Then
Oh.
untap Wasteland, you buy back a Wasteland, and then that was it. It was like 2 spells, and then the game was over.
So what is the Ren for in Maverick? Because Maverick is traditionally generally like a Abzan or sort of green white sort
Green
of
white.
style.
Yeah, so it's more of like it's like a green white value creature deck, but I think Ren is it's like better than Deathrite Shaman because all it does is rebuy Wastelands, while also being additional point pieces of removal.
Mm-hmm.
Because usually the Maverick deck was on 4 copies of Swords,
Yep.
main, and then if they're feeling really aggressive, their copy of Abrupt Decays, which is no longer a thing after Deathrite Shaman got banned.
Yeah, true,
After they started moving away from black.
Mm-hmm.
So Ren is both card advantage, additional removal, while also the Maverick plays a bunch of utility lands.
Yep.
As in cycling
lands,
lands,
yep.
fetch lands, Dryad Arbor.
Oh, nice.
Oh wait, I think it's on Bomberman.
Oh, Sean is generally a Bomberman player, but we'll
Yeah.
figure it out in a sec when they play some cards.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So,
Yeah.
are they playing Lightning Bolts at all, or is it
No.
still just, just Ren and good cards?
I think it's a creature value deck with Ren, good cards, and plows.
Nice.
That's usually it. And then Sean usually plays like a spicy builds of Bomberman.
Yeah.
So usually plays blue.
Oh, okay.
Or sometimes plays 5-color humans Bomberman with Imperial Recruiter.
Yep. I know generally they try to play Imperial Recruiter for some.
Oh,
Some
that is
shooters?
blue-white Bomberman. You can see that is I think it's Skyshroud Expanse, which is a Odyssey Cycle land.
Okay.
And what so it does is it has tap it and add a colorless mana to add blue-white. I'm pretty sure it's called I think it's what it's called. Haha, Sky Cloud Expanse.
Wow. It's like it. All right. So it's like it adds mana when you tap it for mana.
Yeah, so it's like a signet, and then it cycles colorless mana into blue mana and white mana.
Interesting. All right. So you see
Yeah.
Sean here just kicking it off his usual Bomberman style. Chalice for 1, pass.
Yeah.
Miranda can't play anything.
Oh, yep. So that's actually Chalice is usually like kind of off and on against the Maverick deck, but this looks like very strong against Miranda's hand as the turn 1 Chalice turned off Noble Hierarchs.
Yeah, I can see that. Hey, Judge. Hey, Judge, can you bring the life counter into view? Thank you, Judge. Yeah. Well, it's interesting that Sean did play 1 Chalice, turn 2 nothing. With 2 fetches. What do you think's happening here?
This is probably a Salvagers if he's tapping for mana or Karn. Yep.
But doesn't he need to tap mana?
Yeah, he's tap 4. It's a Tomb and 2
he's playing-
Expanses.
I didn't know they tap for mana.
They
but-
tap for mana. Yeah, so it's a colorless. So that is a Sky Cloud Expanse. So that is this one.
1 second.
Oh. So so you tap a colorless and tap it, and then it adds 2 mana of 2 different
Oh,
colors.
because he used the tomb. Gotcha. I thought itself. I was like, itself doesn't tap for mana, but he was able to use the tomb. Gotcha.
It adds 1 because you tap 1 and tap it to get 2.
Gotcha. Yeah, I gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense. Cool.
Yes,
And
Miranda's-
he's got a Boba, and he's got a Khan. I wonder what he fetched.
Yeah, so Miranda's on a kind of I think it's touch LED, so he's going to try to set up a turn 4 Mycosynth Lattice.
Mm-hmm. And Greystons for 2 there. For
I think this
Miranda.
is probably finding Teague.
Yeah. What do you think Teague's stopping in a matchup like this?
Mycosynth Lattice mainly is just and Karn is just a way that Miranda can't get locked out of the game.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I think because Bomberman is the type of deck to be able to be really explosive, right?
Yes. Also, the Karn face up on the table means that Miranda is at risk at getting Mycosynth Lattice next turn.
Mm-hmm.
So putting a Teague in play at least prevents Sean from casting it. But I don't think it's going to live very long because Karn usually packs some sort of ballista in the sideboard, and Teague is not interacting with that.
Yeah, that's
Exactly.
true. The great thing about synergy with Khan and LED is that he can play the LED. He can sack for mana, discard his hand, and then shoot it afterwards, which is
Yes.
really cool.
Yeah, so oh, this is Kasali Pride Mage.
Gotcha. Yep. Probably makes sense. Wants to kill that Chalice, probably.
Yeah, I think it's a creature in play to kill the Karn if Sean tries to put a Lattice into play.
That's true. Yep.
But also having relevant text against the rest of Sean's deck.
Yeah, it's a nice heads up. by Miranda.
Yeah. Oh, it's like Sean also has Mystic Forge in hand
Okay.
and a second card.
I love Mystic Forge. It's like a really it for modern, for example, it gives the color decks a way to have some sort of like Course of Portal sort of frenzy sort of card draw. But people playing it in like vintage. I think it's insane
Oh,
in
it's insane in
shops.
vintage. You play with you can actually play in a deck with 6 lands or
Yeah.
5 lands. You play your workshops and your academy, and that's it.
Yep.
Unless you just like 0 drops, like haha, cast it.
Go to town, yeah, and you have all the moxes which you can just cast for free.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense. People were testing it out in Affinity, actually, in Modern Affinity, just because you have such a low land count, you can go bananas with it.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure he has to show that.
I think he's gonna reveal in a second. He's gonna make sure.
There
Yes.
you go.
Worm
Yeah,
Coil
Worm Coil.
Engine. That's a good one
I
to
mean,
get.
it's still pretty good.
That's a good one. That's pretty good.
I mean, he lost a lot of life from the tomb anyway, but yeah, that's a good heads up play there from John.
Also, it does not really care that much about a Pride Mage because if it gets blown up, it leaves 2 wormies.
Oh yeah, 2 tokens.
Yeah, behind.
Yeah,
So
chat has pointed out. I think Sean has another card.
does another card. Yeah. So I'll do some hand spotting for Miranda. I think she has Plateau, Scrib Ranger, and then another Forest. Looks like.
Well, the
Yes.
Script Ranger, if she gets a Dryad Arbor, she could potentially do the bouncy thing.
Arbor. So I think she's basically resigned herself to take a hit from this Worm Coil Engine and started getting. Oh, she has a Plow in hand.
Gotcha.
She has Plow up to easily answer that Worm Coil.
Yeah, you can tell that her hand was probably very one drop heavy. That's why she grabbed the Pride Mage, because now she's dropping 2 nobles and she's holding up Plow.
Another LED.
All the LEDs.
This maybe second Karn.
I don't know what the Khan is on now, but
It's on 1.
it's on 1.
He wished twice.
Okay, gotcha.
He's probably swinging so I can induce a Plow. It's going before combat.
Interesting.
Don't worry about this.
Hey, Judge. 1 second.
Hey, Judge.
Keep on getting them to use the big dice on the
The big die on the play soccer.
Okay, it looks like Sean's just gonna lattice. Sacks both LEDs and ticks down. I think he's just gonna go get lattice here, or he can just get a ballista.
He's going for it. I mean, he can hold up 1 Worm Coil to block the nobles anyway.
Yeah, I think, but this line does not fare well against the Swords of Plowshares,
Yeah,
which
exactly.
is what Miranda's holding.
Which is, I mean, he wishes, goes to 3, right? And then tries to hold up the worm to block, swords the worm, attack with a noble, get it down to 1. It's pretty much useless there.
Lattice. This is not going to work out well for Sean. Oh, she let it resolve.
She let it resolve. That was not a good
That's
idea.
a mistake.
Yeah.
That's a mistake. Oh, okay. So lattice on the stack. Respond. Okay.
That makes more sense.
That is ideal
wonder-
play.
Yeah, okay. He saw it. Okay, he let it go. Yeah, I know. As we're like not super competitive REL here, but I'm sure they had a discussion there and said, okay, I'm gonna do something in response. So,
Well, technically, Miranda can only attack. She's got no other options at this point.
Can't still on 1.
And actually, so
She scoops it up.
Scoops it up because Sean can tick up targeting the lattice and then block for Karn with the lattice.
Yeah, for the rest of the game.
The rest of the game, yeah.
Unless Miranda starts discarding the hand size and then starts discarding Bloodghast and plays lands.
Oh yes.
Yes.
That's one way to do it.
Yep. Good old Khan has definitely changed the format for the better.
Looks like Miranda's bringing in a couple Council's Judgments. I think a Knight of Autumn. Sean, he has an In the Eye of Chaos in his sideboard. Oh no.
So you know a lot about Sean's deck list, don't you?
It's a spicy one. It's definitely okay. It's the build. I thought people would put Echo of Eons in from Modern Horizons
Okay, that one. Yep.
because it's a deck that basically it wants to dump out its hand.
Mhm.
It plays Lion's Eye Diamond, and blue is also just a good color to put in that deck because you can splash cards like Intuition,
Mhm.
which what Sean's doing. And you can set up some intuition piles where you either get like Karn, or you go get LED, or you go LED Ballista X,
Hmm.
and then with a Salvagers in play, you just get the kill.
So obviously they're playing Chalice, so they can't play Ponder and Brainstorms. But are they playing any other blue cards? Like are they playing? They wouldn't play Force because there's not enough blue
I
cards.
don't
But
think playing Force. Yeah,
what would is the blue just for some tutors?
I'm pretty sure it's intuition and sideboard cards.
Gotcha.
'Cause I think yeah, I actually saw an into the. I think it's
I was
into
gonna
the
say
Eye of
Teferi is
Chaos.
another good one.
Oh yes, Teferi. That is certainly in there. Uh, into the Eye of Chaos. There we go.
Okay, so this is sort of like a mana. It's sort of like a what's that? It's a mana leak sort of thing.
It's like the Abyss, but
Abyss.
so
That's
what it
it.
does, or oh, sorry, Nether Void.
Nether Void, the really expensive black enchantment card. That's
Yes.
4 mana. Yep.
Yeah. So what it does is it doubles the cost of all instants and sorceries.
And I'm assuming Sean does not have many instant sorceries.
No. Instants and
Interesting.
actually just instants, because for this template, it's so instants and interrupts is now just instants.
Yeah, gotcha.
So again, something like Storm Combo or Miracles,
Mhm.
say if they cast their Force of Will, they have to pay 10, or they have to pay 5
Five.
additional.
And a life and
Yeah.
a card.
And then yes, and a card. Oh yes, Teferi's most certainly in the deck too.
Yeah, I think Teferi is getting put into a lot of random combo decks lately. I saw Teferi floating around in Infect.
Oh
Yeah.
yes.
Because it's like, hey, I bounce your dude. I stop you from killing my guys on my turn, and
Mhm.
it stops counter spells.
Oh, also, being in Bant means you have the Geist of St. Traff sideboard plan.
Oh, nice, nice.
So it's like, I have a whatever hexproofy 6/6 beater that you can't kill with removal, and if you block it, I'll just pump it.
Yeah, I love that. Geist is pretty sweet.
Yeah, that's a really spicy plan. Also, I was playing it in Cephalid Breakfast, and it was great.
Oh yeah, yeah. Cephalus Pro. You playing? Oh yeah, you were playing in it, right?
Yes.
Nice,
Oh
nice,
yes.
Yeah, Teferi is a interesting one because like it's sort of. I remember back in the day, back in my days, Detention Sphere was like the 3-drop go-to for blue white, and now Teferi is just wrecking it. You know,
Yes.
and it draws a card. It draws cards. It's so good.
I mean, so like in the decks that plays it, they no deck wants all 3 abilities.
Hmm.
All decks like want like something random. So like Storm wants like the static and the -3 to remove stuff and then for protection.
Mhm.
Some things want to be playing at instant speed. That's probably actually the worst abilities at +1. And it just does like just enough in so many decks. Well, just locking down people with sorcery speed is just so good in a format that's based around instant speed interaction.
Yeah, I learned the hard way that the ability actually sticks around after you kill Teferi. So I was like, kill Teferi. He's like, cool. And then I was like, attack with my worm coils. And the guy's just like, oh, Wrath of God. I'm like, He's like, yeah. I'm like, I think you're right.
Oh yeah. Oh yes, EOT Ponder or CJ is insane. I've certainly put counterbalance triggers on the stack and responded with Ponder. It's like, oh,
Oh,
just
that's pretty good, yeah.
yeah, just counter that one.
Sounds good.
I think Miranda with the mismatched deck is making it a little hard to hand spot. But I saw a Dryad Arbor and multiple copies of Swords to Plowshares, which is really not what you want.
Yeah, I think I actually sort of sometimes do that as well. I just like mismatch all my basics, just because I'm grabbing random basics out of my cupboard and then I realize they're all different. So I was like, I might as well go all the way.
Oh yeah. So Miranda really big on the mismatching. She has almost like a pretty much fully foiled Maverick deck with all mismatches. It's like her wastelands are just. It's the most beautiful and disgusting thing at the same time.
It's
So he
hilarious.
has, he has like a 2010 judge, a player reward, an expedition, and a 2015 judge.
I think that's the first time I ever saw that at a professional level. Was the one of the Pro Tours, I think, or Mythic Champions as they call it, when someone won with mono blue aggro. Yeah, it was
Oh
pretty
yeah,
funny. It's just like all mismatch islands.
oh yeah. I was
Sorry.
the LSV special. He would always use draft islands.
Oh, that's so awesome. He just won the GP on the weekend.
Yeah, GP Denver. I think it was standard.
Scape shift, yeah, standard scape shift. It's really hilarious.
Oh,
Just
with like Dread Wanderer and like some other stuff.
what's Dread? No, what's Dreadwater? Is that a zombie?
It's a zombie that says when a swamp enters, you shock someone or you draw a card.
No. He did not play zombie vampires or zombies on the weekend. He ended up playing scape shift. where you play at the field of
Oh,
bed.
the zombie thing.
Zombie Land, yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Escape shift and got like 35 zombies. It was hilarious.
So it's like planes go. Ooh,
Interesting. Nothing's happening.
nothing's happening. Miranda decided to pass on the turn 1 Green Sun Zenith. What does that signal to you?
Guess she doesn't want her land to die.
Probably saving it to get a 2-drop later on, or
I mean, she could also be playing around if Jordan just went like Tomb into Pedal into Mentor.
Yeah.
Then she could just sort it. She's like probably trying to deal with the turn 1 threat.
oh, Thalia. So yeah, I think Sean being on the mentor plan, this Thalia is gonna really slow him down a bit.
Yeah.
Sky Cloud expands.
I feel like every time I see it, I think it's a Flutter Strain. I think she was just trying to hold up the swords.
Oh yeah, this is the 2010 Carl Critchlow art, Judge Wasteland. Just mismatched foil Wasteland 104. Oh, it's holding
Wait.
something up instead of just firing off the Wasteland.
So you have the original Tempest. Yeah.
But it's-
Judge Foil.
so it's play rewards is a Tempest foil.
Okay. Yep.
And then you have a 2010 Judge foil.
Mhm.
You have Expedition.
Yeah.
There's a 2015 Judge foil.
Oh, an Expedition. I thought that about Expedition. Yeah.
And technically, if you want to get like really trashy, you can play the Eternal Masters foil.
Oh, mate, I'm really excited to spit some trivia at you. It seems like you know your cards.
Ooh.
That should
Ooh.
be a trivia question asking about.
Don't worry, Andy. It's not. Oh yeah, that's a Prismatic Vista. So technically, there is a fetch in play. But the blue-white looking land is not a fetch. That is a filter land. Tombs. He's got 5 mana here.
Alrighty.
3 Mentor. I think he waited in order to really start cashing in.
Yeah, he needs to pay the tax. That's why. Salt in response. Gonski. Yeah, Mental gets out of control, like insane.
I mean, especially in this deck. This deck usually plays 12 zeros, 16 zeros.
Mhm.
8 baubles, 4 petals, 4 Mox Opals.
I'm sure Maverick could play a chalice or two in the sideboard.
Oh yeah, no,
You know
that's
what I'm
good. Yeah, Maverick when he sides out some stuff and just plays a chalice on 1.
Mhm.
So good. In for 3 here.
Who would have thought a 2-1 bear with first strike would be so good in Legacy?
Don't diss Vampire Hexmage like that.
Oh man, I hate Hexmage so much. Gives me nightmares.
I love Hexmage.
It's so awkward. It's like you have to counter it because like if you let it resolve, it's gonna probably do its thing, and then if you try to kill it, it's probably still gonna do its thing. Yeah.
The best part is like the second half of the combo does not use the stacks. They can just play it, and if you don't counter, they just play the depths, and it's in play. You're like, ugh.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's why you play Stifle in your deck.
Mate, Stifle.
Play
Yeah.
Stifle.
Lose all the things. All right, this Sully is doing its work.
Yeah, I think Sean's hand is not good. Holding second copy of Mox Opal, a Containment Priest, a City of Traders, and something else. So his hand does not do anything. His hand has a 2/2.
Yeah, so it was a little bit land heavy. I was expecting like more counter action there, but
Containment Priest. Oh, his hand's doing something now.
what do you think the cabin's naming there?
It usually names human. Containment Priest, Monastery Mentor, and Auriac Salvers are all humans.
Okay, so okay, that makes sense. I was just looking at the green sun there. I'm like, yeah, the green sun still resolved, but nothing actually came into play.
Nothing came to play. So Miranda chooses to fail to find.
Yep.
If she so chose, she could have exiled a bad creature out of her deck, but she's nope. Yeah, just shuffle it right back in. X = 2 is probably finding a Pride Mage or a Teague.
Yeah, I think Teague's.
I mean,
Teague would be
she
not-
could also find Scrib Ranger, as it's both a flyout, attacker 2, and would generate a lot of mana with a Noble Hierarch.
Yeah, I mean, it's not to shun at the fact that Sean's at 10,
Oh yeah.
and he's holding that tomb. He's like,
Oh, there's Intuition.
okay,
So I think we're gonna see some fireworks on Miranda's end step.
okay. Oh yeah, he can use that mox there to wait. He cannot use the mox. There's not Metalcraft. You have to
Yes.
crack that Vista. Oh wait, he has to filter land. My bad.
Yeah, so he has 4 mana to play this Intuition through the Thalia. Probably gonna see end step. I'm not sure what he's gonna find. I think it's probably just triple Ballista.
I mean, yeah, this is good. Start killing down those Thalias.
I mean, he's got a bunch of mana. Oh, Stoneforge.
Oh, there's Stoneforge. Stoneforge is just always gas.
Oh yeah, probably just finding the skull here.
Do you think sword maybe?
Oh, that's sort of Truth and Justice.
Wait, is that the one?
It's a proliferate.
Proliferate? Or is it the
Proliferate.
one that kills a planeswalker?
That's a proliferating sword. Oh, that one's actually pretty interesting against the Chalice of the Void deck.
So what's the full name?
Truth and Justice. Sword of Truth and Justice.
Sword of Truth.
There we go. Also, protection from white. Very relevant against the Monastery Mentor Oriok Salvagers deck.
Protection from all his blue and white spells, sort of relevant, but does not care about Walking Ballista.
No.
And then put a 1/1 counter on a creature you control, and then proliferate. This is
So-
from the Modern Horizons set, right?
Modern Horizons, yep.
Nice.
So, Sean, Intuition end step, predicted. I think it's going to be Ballista, Ballista, Ballista. That's in his deck. Or Karn, Karn, Karn. Because depending on how many cards he has in hand, he could empty out his hand and put an Ensnaring Bridge into play.
That is also true, yeah. I mean, get a Khan, Ballista, and Bridge. No, I'm just joking. In case Sean brought it in.
Karn, Karn, Karn. So I think he's on the Ensnaring Bridge plan.
So what would you choose here if it was Khan?
I would pick the, usually if they have 2 foils and 1 non-foil, you
Yeah.
always pick the non-foil one.
Of course.
Yeah.
That's actually a good point. Chad has pointed out you can grab Ballista, LED, and Salvager.
Yeah, so you need a Salvager in hand.
Yeah.
Because they will never, if you show them Ballista's Salvager's LED, they'll never give you the Salvagers.
Of course.
They'll give you the LED. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it looks like another Mox Opal. Okay, Mox Opal City Traders. So I'm pretty sure Sean can effectively go down to 1 card here. Which would be, and then 1 card while having mana to play. I think he's short of Ensnaring Bridge because his card costs 5.
Yeah.
Here's 5.
No, he can still
No,
Bridge.
he's got
another city.
he's got another city and a tomb. That doesn't do that much. It's a Karn.
Yeah.
So he only has 3 mana though. The bridge will cost 4 because the Opal is not tapped for mana yet.
Do you think it was right for Miranda to grab the sword here
I think GT would probably be my pick
to kill the creatures?
to kill creatures. Well, also GT and a Stoneforge Mystic means you can attack through a bridge.
That's
So
true.
you have 2 counters. You make it a 0/1, then attack is a 2/3.
Oh yes, you can minus it. That's a good point. I didn't even thought about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he has like a few blockers here. He goes, okay.
There you go. Do that. Big boy Wormy.
He realizes his life is a bit low.
Yeah, so I think this is going to play right into the Council's Judgment Miranda's been sitting on for a while.
Nice. Thank you.
Okay, we have a meta game from the judge. We got an Allurin in the room. Nice. That's what I was playing last week. Food Chain. Mill. We have literal Mill.
Mill.
Robin's playing Rug Delver. Huh, nice.
Nick attack sneak fit. That's so funny.
Nick Attack Sneak Fit.
Sounds pretty cool.
That's spicy. Drowsy Post, Storm,
Oh, Curtis-
Final Fortune Prison. Yes.
Yeah, I
Yes.
actually lost to that. So last time me and Curtis were playing, he was like, "You want to go on stream?" He's like, "Nah, it's all right." And then the game we had was one of the best games we've ever had. He was able to kill me in turns, right? He was in turn 3, and he killed me by getting 2 extra turns and killing me with the Boris Charm and the Isochron Scepter.
That's brutal.
And I had like
so
3
spicy.
Endbringers in play. It was so ridiculous.
That's spicy.
Got humans. Oh, got humans. That's pretty cool.
I think it's Jake on just straight up humans.
Yeah. And we have what's that one? Oh, four color control.
Minus black though.
Huh.
So that's playing white cards. Who plays white cards? Firing off the waist. Okay. Back to the match
to
going
the
on right here. Yes. So I'm pretty sure Sean's gonna run face first into a Council's Judgment on his Warp Coil Engine. He's lost the Karn.
He's gonna block. I was gonna say block the token.
Yeah,
mate.
block the
Just chomp
token.
on the yeah.
Yeah, the Karn at least gets you another artifact. Ooh, okay. This Worm Coil may be doing some work depending on what's the rest of Miranda's hand.
What a fake, right? Attack with the Thalia that Khan. Chump. Okay. Council Judgment.
Mentor. Mentor is a good source of blockers here. Especially since Sean is holding another Mox Opal.
It is, but think about this. Like the Thalia is still in play, and I think Miranda's in the driver's seat here. I mean, then again, Sean is up a game, so he has a bit of he has a bit of leeway here to suss out the deck more and understand what brought in.
Yeah. So I'm fetching Island here. Let's see, play City of Traders return. 6 mana, Wormy Boy.
From Coil. Seems like
So,
he's favoring that. I mean, he's on
yeah.
6, so
I mean, he is at 6, and this blocks everything very well. But I think the way Miranda's been playing, I think she signals she has another answer.
Hmm.
That looks like a plow. I think she tapped her Noble Hierarch. She's actually got 2 lands in Noble Hierarch and paid 4. So I know that black bordered Savannah is a white bordered something else.
yeah, she tapped the
She
cell,
did,
yeah. She tapped the Noble, yeah.
yeah. Yeah. Yep. Looks like Miranda is holding Swords of Plowshares.
Give me a look at the sword.
I think she's setting a pretty good turn of just plow your Worm Coil, attack you for 3, and then sneak in my sword and just attack through whatever.
Seems good.
What else you got going on?
I mean, Wonko's great in like 4-color decks. You know, in Red Pile, you know, they don't have white, so you just have this 6/6 lifelinker
Oh,
going to
gee.
town.
Pay 1.
Pay 1,
Pay 1.
pay 1,
Did he pay 1?
pay 1.
Pay 1.
There you
we go. I don't think he can't tap that yet. Nope, the bauble is not in play.
Good catch there from Miranda. Yeah, sometimes we have to let the players figure it out.
Pay
There
1.
you go.
Okay,
Yeah.
now that works.
Another Mox, yep. Trigger, all the triggers. It'd be hilarious if Containment Free said if a creature, not a non-token creature, it just like goes complete decks.
Here comes a sword. Boop. Sword is in play. And plow your Wormy. And
Gain 6.
yeah, gain 6. And it looks like Sean's about to just take 5 on the nose. Because all his creatures are white, and he can't quite block.
Oh yes, protection from white. Good point.
I think Random's got a very good hand right now.
Did I see a Pride Mage in there?
I think it's a Knight of Autumn.
Oh, not of awesome.
I think a Knight of Autumn, maybe both. But Knight of Autumn, those cards are both very good in this matchup.
Yep.
So
Straight
attack
in
for
for
5.
attack,
Yeah.
Hey, 5. And then the counters come in. Should
Yeah,
be.
she put 2 counters because she puts the 1 and proliferates.
Yeah, proliferate. That makes sense.
I think Miranda's holding Ren in 6.
Oh, and she's got red, right? 'Cause that's.
It will cost 3, so she chose to equip an attack over casting Ren.
I think
I
putting
think-
on pressure is pretty good.
I don't think Ren would do much though, because
Yeah,
it
exactly.
could buy back a land. I mean, she could have bought back a land and then equipped.
Pay the tax.
Pay the tax. Pay the tax.
Tax.
1.
Tax.
Cost 1.
Oh. I don't think. Oh, she missed it. Oh well.
Yeah, I mean, so also a lot of times in the Maverick deck, if you're trying to play a Sword of Protection from white, a lot of people move to War and Peace just because of how effectively it kills Miracles players.
Mhm.
Because if you get a War and Peace down, they're usually sitting there with 5, 6 cards in hand, so your creature's attacking for 11.
Mhm.
Or, so I don't think, yeah, you cannot miss the tax. That it does cost 1. I mean, you probably should get a judge on that.
I mean, the judges are currently not here, but
Yes.
it's yeah we can't backtrack this for now. I feel like this is gonna be over very soon.
This is an attack for 6.
Yeah, he skipped it anyway.
Oh, it's 7. Sorry, there's an Exalted trigger.
Yep.
So that was lethal. Yeah. So that was, I forgot what the Exalted trigger. So that was Xaxes.
Yeah, I totally forgot about Exalted there. That was good. Yeah.
Oh, yes. I was thinking Miranda actually has multiple copies of Lightning Bolt in the sideboard.
Interesting. It all makes sense. She's got red and a lot of fetches, right? Maverick
Oh,
plays
yeah.
so many fetches.
I think they're usually on 9, just because they want their Knights to be huge.
Just cycle through your lands. Bloop, 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 bloop.
Okay, so other side ring. What do you want to see next round?
Me?
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
I'm all about the spice. I mean, watching the Final Fortune Prison deck, which is like red, white, Isochron Scepter, what's that, Kicker, something Chant,
Orim Chant.
Orange Chant, that was, interesting stuff. But it's a fun deck, very dirtily. Or we could have Mill.
We have a request for Mill out of that chat.
I've never seen Mill in Legacy.
Oh, Actually, a mill player came second place, like at a 1K. I think it's January 2018.
January 2018. So specific
Yeah,
date. Okay.
yeah. I mean, I know because I got booted. I was the first seed coming to the top eight, but got booted to Blackguard Reanimator, and then had to watch Mill go to the finals.
Interesting. Is it very similar to the modern build of Mill?
Oh, you're playing 4 copies of Brain Freeze,
Okay.
and you're also
okay.
playing Surgical Extraction because you actually need to worry about Emrakul shutting people's decks back in.
Hold up. It's not just High Tide with Brain Freeze, is
No,
it?
no, it's Mill.
It's actually, is it Blue Mac Mill? Is it, what is it? Okay, I think the fact that I'm asking questions is a probably answer to my question of like maybe we should feature it. But I'd love to see what the records. If they win first
Yes.
round, I'm happy to put on Mill if
Yes.
you're keen with that.
Yeah, oh yeah. Legacy Mill is very similar. We have a link here from Andy if you want to take a look at it. If anyone in chat wants to look at it. But it's like so it's blue black usually. So it's playing Archive Traps, Brain Freeze, Ponders, Brainstorms, Force of Wills, and the majority of them, and then also like Glimpse the Unthinkable. So there's not actually that many mill spells,
Yeah.
but the mill spells all hit you for double digits.
Yep. Then are they playing the crab?
They are certainly playing the crab.
The crab.
Yeah. it's
You know
like-
they were testing crab in Hogak actually.
Oh, that sounds actually seems super good.
You just mill yourself with the crab and then cast an A8 trample it. Seems really good.
Seems good. I mean, like, yeah. I mean, Hogak has 4 slots recently just opened up due to a Bridge from Below ban. People were playing like Satyr Wayfinder. I was like,
Yeah, I saw that.
Crab just seems better than that.
Yeah, yeah. I guess Sada's in green, that's why.
It is
Crab-
green, so you can at least convoke with it.
You got Pox. Pox. Connor's generally always playing Pox. Love the Pox. Turbo Depths. A lot of Depths.
We have Alurin too, at right at the bottom.
Alurin, yes.
And we have Chris Wessel playing straight up Jund.
Chantress. Oh, that's a flashback.
Oh, nice. We have Rug Delver. We have multiple Rug Delver players. Yes.
Good
A
to
lot-
see Eldrazi posts floating around. It's actually pretty bad at the moment, but I still vouch for the Eldrazi.
Okay, Miranda looks like she has multiple Wastelands and Athalia in hand. So maybe a keeper. Sean, holding Chalice does not have the acceleration to go turn 1 though.
Do you prioritize like Stoneforges in this matchup?
Not at all, no.
You just can grab the sword.
No. I don't like Stoneforge as it's a slow threat, and a lot of time you're playing an artifact-based card into a Null Rod.
Yes,
So
true.
I think Thalia and Noble Hierarch are a lot better in this matchup.
Alright,
Like
so
she's holding it both Hierarch, Thalia, and Pride Mage, but I like the aggressive Wasteland. Oh, yep, 2 Wastelands. Let's fire them off.
2 different arts.
I mean, okay. I mean, at least not Expeditions. Those are the 2 Judge foils. Those are okay. Those are pretty.
That's true. Is this that silly blue-white land again?
Skycloud Expanse.
Oh wow, it's back. With no lands to be able to activate it.
Yeah, it does not tap for mana on its own. That is correct.
Mhm.
So, like, Miranda's aggressive play looks like it's paying off.
Yeah, I was supposed to say, like, I think having 3 lands as a Bomberman deck is pretty good, but having any more than 3 lands in play is probably pretty bad, isn't it?
Looks like Taiga on top.
Yes,
He's
land.
got 2 draws coming. Try to hit a land. That's a ballista. Oh, that's a whiff. I look like a whiff.
He's got an LED. He's got
This
some
is
more
the-
looks.
This is the body language of a whiff. LED, bobble. Yeah, you gotta cast your bubbles now while they still cost 0 mana.
That's true, yeah. So, watch out for that failure. I mean, Miranda being able to wasteland twice and then untap with the Noble, I think that's a really good play.
Miranda also has a Pride Mage in hand, so she may just run out. Ooh, X equals 2.
And she just wants to grab the card now. I want to look before you do that.
I know she's getting Collector Oof.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
This
Yeah,
is a collector.
green.
So yeah, it's
Oh,
green.
yeah.
It's green. But yeah, it's a good play from Sean. Heads up to actually activate the bobble before the Oof hits play.
That's a good point. Yeah.
So yep, that's a Collector Oof. Sean is dead.
You want to explain to us what Collector Oof does?
Collector Oof is 1 and a green for a 2/2, and it says activated abilities or artifacts can't be activated.
Does that play well against the blue-white artifact deck?
I don't think so. Can't be that good. Sean's still playing. If he hasn't conceded yet, I don't know why it's worth bringing in.
It's true. He's already tapped his tomb. He's trying to kill himself faster.
It's like just running out of chalice on 1. This part that tomb was a draw for turn. It's a really nice LED you got there.
It's such a waste of money. They're like worth nothing now, right?
Yeah, it doesn't do anything.
Does it do anything? Oh mate.
Hiya.
Oh, Uflin for 3.
Even text 3.
Clock has
I think
initiated.
this is a Ren entering play. Here comes a Wasteland.
Oh, it has started, my friends. It has started.
Oh yeah, target the land that active taps for mana.
That's true. Yeah. Just leave the lands that don't tap anything left.
I'm gonna go on a limb and say I'm pretty sure Miranda's winning this game.
Another LED.
Okay, this Sean's about to have no lands in play. And so the ye old
Talia.
you have no lands, I have Athalia. Hi. Oh no, plus first.
Wasteland, just for good measure.
I mean, yeah, we gotta go. Yeah, you gotta send a message. Oh, can't tag with that one. There you go.
It feels like Ren into Thalia is just like perfect.
So nice. They get to be playing 3 colors, and also to playing a 2-mana planeswalker and a 2-mana hate bear at the same deck. Miranda's got a bunch of lands, but I don't think she cares.
I wonder why nothing like Maverick exists in Modern. Like just having like good value creatures in a deck seems good.
Yeah. I think it's because Thalia is just less potent
Yeah, that's true. And also like they don't have great
and
sons.
no wastelands.
Yeah, that's
You
true.
have to Ghost Quarter, so you don't have the Thalia Wasteland combo. But also a lot of what makes, the Maverick just having Knight of the Reliquary plus Wasteland is a way to lock out fair decks.
Mhm.
You can also play Knight of the Reliquary and something like Dark Depths
Yeah.
to just really shark people. And also playing stuff like Gaia's Cradle or Caracas as value lands to find, while having Green Sentina to find all your random green creatures is probably why it doesn't work.
Did you know that Miranda was one of the first players at a GP competitive level to play Guy's Cradle in a Maverick deck?
Ooh,
Yeah, so
nice.
when she top 8'd, people were like, wow, I never thought about just playing Guy's Cradle in Maverick and just be able to tap for lots of mana off the Knight.
Oh, it's good. Especially with like when Tracker was printed.
Yes.
Now you can just go like turbo through your Tracker. Also, like out of the decks in Legacy, I'm pretty sure Maverick has like the most cards that are actually banned in Modern in it. Has Jite, Stoneforge, Green Sun Zenith. It can also play Punishing Fire.
Yeah,
A lot of stuff like that.
Grove, yep.
And style stuff like that. So just a bunch of like cards that's banned. Oh, also Dark Depths too.
It's
That's
basically
banned in Modern.
it's basically green white hate bears, but like sometimes
Yeah.
it splashes in other colors.
Yeah, Green White Papers has a better fair matchup.
It's a really good fair deck, I must say.
Ping, yeah.
Green Suns for 1,000,000. I'm not even sure if Sean even drew his extra cards,
I don't think it matters. That's a knight.
and it's 1,000,000 power.
I think it's a 6/6.
Yeah.
Oh,
Cabin.
he's got mana.
He's got mana.
And that's a Teferi in hand. Oh, discard my hand. Discard my hand again.
Discarded again.
I'm dead.
All right, unlucky.
Conceding in style.
Yes. Doing it with wait. Yes. Miranda has the city's blessing. She had 11 permanents in play, I think.
Very nice.
All she needed was Ascend.
Yeah, or she should have put an Arch of Araska in her deck.
You had to draw the extra cards.
Draw
Right?
some extra cards. I think that's poor deck building.
Fetchable by the night.
Fetchable of the night. It's like pay 5 mana, tap it. That's draw a card. That seems pretty good.
What do you think the most impactful cards are that won Miranda match?
Collector Oof.
Definitely. Off the Green Suns.
And Collector Oof and Renin 6 in a deck that plays like 2 or 3 basics and needs 4 mana. Ouch.
Yeah, that was pretty strong. Alrighty. We've got 10 minutes left. Maybe we swing it back to the booth.
Oh, yeah.
Hello, folks. How you going? Here, my name's Lee. This is...
Kelvin.
We're here to talk about... We just watched first round of the Legacy at Mox Boarding House on Mondays. Mox has Legacy twice a week, is that right?
Twice a week. We got Mondays at 6:30 p.m. Here in Ballard, and then we have Thursdays at 7 p.m. in Bellevue. This follows right after their weekly Modern, which is streams live every week on this channel.
Nice. And yeah, because they stream it on Thursdays for Modern, and then they
Thursdays.
stream Monday Legacy. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. I really like that we do the weekly streams. So broadcast, bring live matches to you guys every week, guaranteed. I don't know, hopefully, it's mostly guaranteed.
Basically, it's like at least 50 weeks a year.
Yeah, definitely, definitely, and we try to do as much as we can. I think most times as well, I've seen Mock Sporting House like still have events firing on like public holidays sometimes. Like this.
Yep, I think everything but like Labor Day they always have to take off. July 4th, Christmas, New Year's usually the ones they
Of
miss.
course, yeah.
Everything else, we're here and streaming.
We get a fair amount of people for Legacy each week, don't we?
I have not seen less than 20 on any given week.
Yeah, I mean, I'm from Sydney, and we generally get only like a scrape like 8, maybe 10, and you guys get minimum like 30 to 20. Sometimes I've seen 60 before a big tournament.
Oh yeah,
It's really nice. All right, let's look at the meta. What do you guys want to see? Yes, I am Australian, born and raised in Sydney. Thank
yes.
you for asking. What do you guys want to see? We have some interesting deck lists here.
Lands. We have a request for lands. We had previously had someone request mill.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we got some. If we're talking spicy lists, we got Mill. We have Nick Fit with sneak attack.
Oh
We
yes.
also have the usual four color depths. I mean, four color controls and turbo depths. Dredge,
Yep.
Bomberman, Grixis,
Multiple barmans. We have a blue white and a mono white.
Final Fortune, Prison. Can't believe it.
Oh geez.
Food Chain, Alluran, Enchantress.
We have another request for POC, so we got requests all over the place. We'll make one of you happy.
Definitely, yeah. I think like we'll look at these meta here. Thankfully, the judges have pulled this up for us, and we'll try to figure out who is actually winning in round one, and
Oh
then we try to
yes.
feature them in the feature match.
Yes. We also have an Alluran. Tundras. Sam, no. We see too many Tundras. You get a Sky Cloud Expanse.
Didn't they ban blue white lands from Legacy?
Yes.
Just joking.
I mean, you got a Sky Cloud Expanse that is strictly superior than a Tundra because you can tap for it to Fairy. You can cast a Fairy with an Ancient Human play on turn 2.
Okay. All right. Well, we've got about 7-8 minutes left. How about I shoot some trivia at you,
Okay, let's go.
mate? You ready? Are
Yeah.
you ready for the trivia? The trivia sort of challenge I always do on the stream.
Yes, I'm
Do you guys?
ready.
So here are the rules basically. So I'm going to ask you a question. You can't look at chat. You can never look at chat. You're always looking at this. Look at the camera. Look somewhere else. Chat has 30 seconds to answer the trivia questions, and also yeah, think out loud. Think your thoughts so we
Yeah.
can hear what you're thinking about. But definitely try to answer it yourself before you look at any suggestions from chat. There. In chat also, I want you guys to also join in. So we've got some trivia questions. All right, I'm gonna start off with an easy question.
Yeah.
All right. I like to play a game called What's This Legend? Generally,
Okay.
it's with creatures, and I tell you a flavor text, and you try to figure out what it is. But I'm going to change it up this time. This is called What's This Legend? And it's actually I'm going to name an ability from a planeswalker.
Oh, okay. This is a spicy one.
All right. I'm going to start off easy. You guys, if you guys can know this one, tell me. Say it in the chat. We're going to give Kelvin here 30 seconds to figure it out, and then there's some follow-up questions after this. All right. Ready?
Yep.
The ultimate is you get an emblem with at the beginning of your end step, create X 2/2 black zombie creature tokens, where X is 2 plus the number of zombies you control.
Okay, I think I got this one.
Alright. Give it 30 seconds.
Yeah.
This is probably an easy one, but there's follow-up questions
Oh
after
yeah, I've
this.
definitely cast this card a lot, and I've activated this emblem twice. I think
Nice.
it's great.
Is it a he or a she?
It's a she.
Nice.
You can
nice.
play it with Gurmag Angler because Gurmag Angler's a zombie. So you actually get 3 zombies on the first go.
I never didn't even realize that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Gomag's a fish zombie? Or?
It's a zombie fish.
Nice.
5547.
Alright.
Great.
What is your answer?
Liliana, the Last Hope.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
All right. Follow-up question. And Chad also got this. We got some answers there. I'm starting off easy. I'm going to make it harder. All right. Next question on the same thing. You've named Liliana the Last Hope. What loyalty does she start at?
3.
I think that was pretty easy. I think everyone in chat knew that. All right. So before you answer this one, give like a couple seconds for chat to interact with this one.
Okay, yeah.
All right. The last question on this one. We're talking about Liliana. What set does she come from?
Okay.
And give us some clues on what you think the set is.
Well, I think it's from the Innistrad block of 2016.
Sounds Lauren. Alrighty. Chat's got a few answers. All right. What do you think it is?
Eldritch Moon.
Good work. Yes, that is correct. All right. That was the tester round. All right, next question. Ready?
Yeah.
This is probably a little bit easy, but I just want to start off easy because Kelvin here is new to the trivia game. Ability. Ready? Next Planeswalker.
Yeah.
-2. Gain control of target artifact.
Yep. Okay.
All right, chat. You got 20 seconds.
I think this one's from a supplemental product.
Sounds like this guy.
Yeah. I mean, this one. I think this one's played vintage a bunch.
Vintage. Yes, it's somewhat
Lots of
relevant in
vintage.
vintage, isn't it?
Oh yes.
Alrighty. What's the answer?
Dak Faden.
Alrighty. Follow-up question. Ready?
Yeah.
How many printings of Dak Faden has there been, and what are they?
Okay. I think I got this one.
All right, go chat. You can go ahead. How many printings has Dak Faden had, and what are they?
Okay.
All right, so I'm gonna give chat a few seconds here. All right, we've got a bunch of numbers here. We have 2s, we have 3s, we have 2s, we have 2, and someone naming it. We have some words. All right, I'm gonna give Kelvin. What? Okay, how many do you think has been printed?
There are 2 printings.
Incorrect.
Oh, there's a 3rd printing of Dak Faden.
What is your final answer?
Okay, if you said 2 is wrong, I had to go with 3 because there's at least 2.
Okay, are we? When I say printings, are we only talking paper, or are we talking just in general?
Oh, I'm talking paper.
Okay, in paper.
'Cause
All right.
I can't name the Magic Online sets. I know he's printed in Vintage Masters, but like I can't name like their other
Okay,
ones.
what are the sets that you think that he's been
He
in?
was printed in paper in Conspiracy 1 and Eternal Masters.
All right, and there's another printing.
In paper?
Yes.
Oh. Is it Commander?
No,
Is it a Judge promo?
you're on the right track, but not it. So he's got Eternal Masters and Conspiracy. We all know about those.
Was he printed as a promo? Oh, I don't know. I don't know the 3rd one.
Chat, do you guys know the 3rd one? Chat, we've got 10 seconds. There is 3, correct? There is 3 paper printings. He already named Vintage Masters, but that's online, whatever. You're right, chat. You are right. We have the right answer
Are
there.
you counting Mythic Edition?
Yes.
Oh! Forgot about that one.
Everyone on chat has got it. All right. And then the final question I have, which is quite easy. What loyalty does Dak Faden start on?
He starts at 3 as well.
That is correct. The last... Yes,
Yes.
the answer for that was Dak Faden starts at 3 loyalty. I sometimes forget.
Yeah.
Like, with Khan, I know he starts on 5.
Yeah,
right?
the new Khan starts at 5.
But then, because I always tick him up, or like, I rarely minus him. I mean, if I'm going for the win, I'll go for it. But
Yeah.
most times I'm just always winning. I have another hard question for trivia. I might save it for the next round. What round is it? What did I miss? It was the end of round 1. We just finished a round 1, a lovely match with Maverick versus Bomberman.
Oh, yes. We saw a Collector Oof and a Ren and 6 in play at the same time. Saw a player lose with no lands, no hand. Or 1 land and no hand.
But the land did not tap for mana.
Oh,
wait,
yeah,
did that get
it was a
Wasteland?
Cavern of Souls. Because the land that didn't tap for mana got blown up.
Fair enough. Yes, that's right. The final answers for the Dak Faden question was Mythic Edition, Conspiracy, and Eternal Masters. But but the other questions I have is I'm going to save that for the next round. But
Okay.
we're going to try to wait for the round to wrap up. We got to just over a minute left, and we're going to decide. You know what I'm noticing here? I don't see any elves.
Oh, there's no Ragazzo in the house?
No, I think I saw him actually. No, I saw a Nick, but it's not Ragazzo. No,
No.
we don't have any elves here, which is kind of interesting. Not much creature decks. I'm seeing a lot of apart from Food Chain and Allurin.
I mean, it's like if they're
Maverick?
creature decks, they're creature combo decks.
Mm-hmm.
Because Bomberman's like a creature deck.
Death and Taxes is sort
Death
of
and
creature
Tax,
deck.
that one's more creature deck. Because it plays 26 creatures.
Mm-hmm.
23 creatures. I think last time I checked, usually 23.
Would you count Dark Depths a creature deck? Because technically it has a
Oh,
really
no.
big creature.
I think that's more of a combo deck.
Yeah, no. But you're right. Yeah, I'm actually seeing a lot of combo. Maybe because a lot of mulligan people just want to get to their combos
Yeah,
faster.
couple of Delvers. We got like a Grixis, 2 Rugs, and a Izzet.
Mhm.
Okay, yeah, see you. Lurin or Painter. We'll look for that. We'll see who's been winning, and then we'll try to get them on camera.
Yeah, no, I definitely love Painter. Painter's one of my. What kind of Painter? What color is it?
So it depends on who's playing it. Is there any Painter in the room?
I thought I saw a Painter somewhere. Or maybe not.
It says no painter.
No painter. Alrighty. Jeremy Edwards on the Blue Red Delver.
He is on Blue Red Over. Yep.
Funny that actually. In the Legacy, let's talk about the results of the Legacy Preservation Series
Ooh,
on the weekend.
yes. Envy.
So we had Green Black Depth win, Mike
Yes.
Kiesel, right?
Yep. Mike Kiesel took it down.
We also had my friend, good old friend Alex Wilson playing John Shadow. He
John
played a bit
Shadow.
of John Shadow, and he just wanted to play good
Like
cards.
Ren
and
and
good
6 in there.
decks. Yeah, he had a few runs in there, and he also had a bunch of like Plague Engineers and stuff doing the good
Ooh.
stuff. But we also had in top 8, we had a lot of burn. We had like 2 or 3 burn
We
players
had, there were 4 burn players.
in the top 8.
No, okay, no, in the field. There was
Okay.
one in the top 8. Randy
Okay.
Yao snuck into the top 8.
Wow, that's amazing to see burn just like
Well,
wreck
Bur-
up the 4 color piles.
Oh yeah, well, so there were 4 burn decks in the field.
That's a
There
lot.
were 2 people playing burn that always played burn. So the 4 burn players were Bill Lee, Randy Yao, Michael Wallio coming out from Boston, and Joey France.
Which is hilarious because Randy is known for his he loves playing creature decks.
Elves.
Right? Elves, he's known for elves, but he also seen like I've seen him play a lot of D&T as well.
Oh yeah.
But just coming in the field with burn, it was just and it's the Legacy Preservation Series is a prestigious tournament where the top 32 of each winners get invited. So these are like
Yes.
the best of the whole Seattle area. Washington area all come together for this big tournament for a big prize, all expenses paid, flights and hotels to the tournament weekend.
Tournament weekend, yep.
And people just come in and just went, I'm just going to take down the tournament.
Oh yeah. And also we had Christopher Wessel make back-to-back finals appearances.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He
That's
lost to Tom Lynch last year in the final, and then lost to Mike this year in the final.
Yeah, Tom is a machine. Like we call him Tom Luxack Lynch. That
Oh,
guy he just gets his way out of everything. It's ridiculous.
I mean, he has a habit of intuitioning for a card, getting that card countered, and then drawing the 4th copy out of his deck.
Yeah. Oh man, Tom. But Tom is very, very smart with his plays. He's been solidly on one of 2 decks. He's always playing Sneak and Show.
He's either playing Sneak and Show or Candelabra of Tawnos Base Brews.
Yes. I mean, I borrow his candles off him all the time because he used to play High Tide.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then I've also seen him play Taking Turns.
Oh, yes, turns.
Legacy.
He also he brought Global Warming a couple times, where he's playing Unbound Flourishing, and then this card called, I think it's Melting, it's not Thawing Glaciers, it's like Glacier or something, and you pay, it's like X green, when you pay it gets X counters, and you can remove a counter and add a colorless. If you have Unbound Flourishing, you can just say, like, haha, now it's double X, and you say, I'm going to remove X colors for X mana, that's also double, because it's X in the ability.
Oh, wow.
And
What
if you
is this card?
have Unbound Flourishing from...
No, no, I'm bad. What's the other
it's,
card?
it's like Glacier.
We'll look up Glacier.
Glaciers. Nope, not that one.
All mountains are now plains. But anyways, we'll figure it out in a sec. But
Yeah.
that's cool. So Unbound Flourishing is also a very cool card. I know people have been brewing that with in Cloudpost.
But also, it works with Candlestick, because if you
Yeah.
activate Candlestick, it doubles the ability. So you can like tap all your posts, activate your Candlestick, untap, tap, untap, tap.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, I've seen people brewing with that. What's nice with Walking Blister?
And also a Helix Pinnacle.
Oh yes, Helix Pinnacle. Just
Helix
only
Pinnacle.
need 50 counters now, guys.
Oh yeah, so you activate it once and it doubles.
hmm
And it's great.
I wish. I mean, this would be bonkers, but I wish this card was actually in standard because it'd just be really
Ooh.
hilarious with
Or-
Hydro Crisis.
Oh jeez. Oh god, no. That card is hilarious.
I'm glad it says a permanent spell. Because imagine if like you mana leak for like 2 and it's actually 4. That'd be
Oh,
pretty
you like
cool.
Logic on it?
Yeah.
You have to. It's even better. It's not. You have to pay 4. You have to pay 2 twice.
Oh yeah,
With
that's true.
the second half.
That's awesome.
So you have 2 Logic Knots. You can Logic Knot something and then copy it and then Logic Knot something else.
If
If there's 2 spells in the stack.
it was too bad, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I mean, that would work with Banefire, right?
It does work with Banefire.
Just like Banefire for 5 and hit him for 10.
Oh yes.
Get him. Alrighty. Let's talk about what do you want to talk about? I was thinking about talking about some hot cards that have been getting some traction in
Ooh,
Legacy.
especially Court 2020. There's 2 that come to mind for me. They're like spicy and now just in a lot of decks.
Okay, what's that?
Okay, one is Veil of Summer has been popping up everywhere
Yes, let's
from
pull that up.
Elves to Storm to Painter. People are playing in Painter because if you name blue, you're permanents gain hexproof, and you gain hexproof from everything.
Oh, sorry. Let me just type this in here.
Oh, we just accidentally maximized our card fetcher. Fixed it.
Alright, Veil of Summer. This card. Yes, this card is
Yes.
amazing. I'm going to read out here. Draw a card if an opponent has cast a blue or black spell this turn. Now, I'm sure that happens pretty often in Legacy.
Oh yeah,
Um,
especially the second half of the text box.
yeah, second you control, spells you control can't be countered this turn. Fantastic. And you and permanents you control gain hexproof from blue and black spells until end of turn.
Okay, so relevant interactions. Counters Hymn to Tarak. Counters all counter spells. Allow you to force things through a Chalice of the Void.
Mhm.
Counters the Tendrils of Agony. Counters a Taxian Probe. That's no longer as relevant. Counters Intuition. Counters Gifts Ungiven. Counters a portent targeting you.
Yep.
Means you can't be Thought Seized. You can't be Liliana Edicted. You can't be Normal Edicted. And then you can't have Liliana activations target your creatures. Things can't be pushed. Nothing black or blue can target you. And if there's a painter in play naming either blue and black, your permanents cannot be targeted at all, and neither can you. So they can't wasteland you. They can't bolt your stuff. They can't do nothing.
Like, just randomly, just sort of relevant.
Counters JTMS ult. That is true.
Yeah, that as well. I was about to say, like, sort of stops Fulminator Mage if some people were playing that in, like, I see things from a modern context as well because, you know, I play a lot of modern, also I play a lot of Legacy. But yeah, the fact that it gives you permanence and you hexproof, you know, you could potentially just, you know, you could play this in a lot of decks.
Oh yeah.
Definitely
Oh,
great. It sort of
yeah.
reminds me of Savage Summoning, if you know that card.
Oh yes. Let's pull that one up.
Yeah. Which is like more of a creature spell, but yeah. So this like gives you creatures like you can't be countered itself, and then gives you creatures can't be countered, and it gives them flash and puts a counter on it. But like yeah.
Oh yeah.
So the whole like end of turn setup, I'm gonna do stuff. Yeah. But, yeah.
Oh yeah.
What was the other card that you thought was really
Mystic Forge.
Mystic Forge? Yeah, pull that guy up. Yeah, I'm a big fan of this card, only because for a while now, certain colorless decks don't like. I was just like, imagine if I could use Frenzy in my deck, and I'm like, a little hard because I'm gonna need red and other things. But this, oh mate, lets you cast artifact cards and colorless non-cards, which are probably the best color in Magic because I'm
Yes.
a dedicated Eldrazi player. And then the ability that doesn't even cost mana, just tap it, pay a life, exile top card. Lets you keep going with your crazy combo if you need be.
Oh yeah. I say, well, at least the one thing with their wordings are trying to be fair is it says you have to cast it. So if there's a land on top, then that's the end of the road. But like it does, unlike the Torrential Frenzy, it does let you cast cards out of your hand, which is insane.
That's true. I guess that's the trade-off that they tried to make with this card. It's like if it said you may play the top card of your library,
You can put lands in and play.
and then you just drop all the lands in. I think that would be way too strong. But being able to cast it with an artifact or colorless non-land card, I think you know it's pretty bonkers.
Especially if So main thing is they're playing the Vintage Forge deck, where it plays 5 lands.
Mhm.
So you have no bricks. You're playing 5 lands. You're playing all the power. You're playing blue spells, and you're playing all the rocks and paradoxical outcome.
Oh,
You're like, oh look, there's an outcome. Oh, I can't cast it off the top. I'll cycle something into it. It's like, oop. And you're just like, haha.
and then you just draw them all the
Okay,
cards.
maybe there's like 8 lands.
Yep.
So there's like, so it's 4 copies of Workshop, 1 copy of your Academy, and then like some other random lands.
Alrighty.
Okay.
But yeah, no, Mystic Forge is a good one. Also, you know, you can potentially cast it turn 2 and get so much value of the soul
Yes.
lands. I'm definitely excited to try to test this in Club Post myself, just because it's full of colorless and artifact cards. But yeah, with Mana Rocks, I think it's insane. It's bonkers with Mana Rocks because be able to, you know, just kick it off the
Yes.
top and keep going.
Also, yeah, especially someone noted there's a deck with Paradox Engine in this card. Like, oh, geez. Because if you have Paradox and you keep on tapping it, you keep clicking on the top of your deck. You're also
yeah,
just
right.
casting free spells. That sounds
Mate.
awful.
And then again, like, Paradox Engine just got banned in EDH. So, guys, pick up your Paradox Engine and Mystic Forge. You can curve it out perfectly. Turn 4, turn 5.
Yes.
But actually, I've been watching a bit of like modern brewing with what's that? Wallace Citadel. Right, we're talking about top cards of libraries. And people have been using, like Matt Nass has been using, like Chromatic Star and Chromatic Sphere to filter the top card of his library.
Oh yeah, especially if you get something that's like colored.
Mhm.
He wants to cycle it into his hand.
Oh, even that, just like
Yeah.
not even the color thing, but just like if you hit a land,
Oh
you can
yeah.
use the because you cast the X for free with
Yeah.
Citadel, and then you just use it to cycle the land into your hand.
Yeah. I've also seen Matt Nass also trying to play a Bolas Citadel combo deck with Weather the Storms. It's like I'm pay life, pay life, pay life, pay life.
Yeah.
Oh, pay 2, gain 15, pay life, pay life, pay life, pay life.
Yeah.
And then if you have a bunch of stuff like Lotus Bloom, then it's free. And she's like, I'm gonna cast it. It's Black Lotus.
Black Lotus. I actually like to say as a joke when I cast my Grid Monoliths in Legacy, I like to say, "Does my Black Lotus resolve?" People laugh at me. They're like, "Haha, yeah, it's resolves." I'm like, "Yeah, you just made a big problem, mate."
Oh, I was like, here's a Trinisphere.
No, not even that. Just like when you let a Grim Monolith resolve off a tomb in Cloud Post, it's a big deal. It's
Yeah,
just like
yeah. It
it's
means
really
that you
strong.
have 7 mana turn 2, most
Yeah,
likely.
just jam those cards.
All right, Legacy players, pairings for round 2 have been posted.
Okay, let's see what we got in the winning half of the bracket.
Yeah, we're getting ready for round 2, guys. Pairings have been posted. The round timer is going to get reset from our end. We're going to start that there. This is round 2.
Round
Yeah, this is round
2.
2. For some reason I haven't put the round timer in there, but whatever. Yeah, whatever it is. Okay, we've got round 2 starting away. We have the meta in front of us, but we're just waiting for the pairing so we can figure out who we want to look. Thank you, Judge.
Okay, let's see.
Alright, so let's look at the 1-0s. We have Jeremy and Jim. He's on lands. Jeremy's on the Red Delver. We got Robin. He's on Still Stomper usually. Eli's on Manalist Dredge, isn't he? He always plays Manalist.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he's on Dredge, yep.
Mill lost. Boo.
How did the Nick fit
This
sneak attack?
is Eric Kaiser. Lost.
Oh, okay. What do you guys
Uh,
want to see?
So we have Rugdella versus Food Chain.
That'll be cool.
That was in the winners. So we've seen Miranda. Ian
So
McCarthy.
Aubrey, who's Aubrey? Is he Aubrey's versus the food chain?
Aubrey's on Food Chain, yeah, versus Rugdell versus Matt Saxon. So we have D&T versus 4-color control. We have Greg won. Greg is playing Alurin, playing against Andrew Torres on Is It Delver.
Let's do Greg. This is
Alurin
Greg.
versus Is It Delver?
This is Greg Mitchell, right?
Greg Mitchell,
Yeah,
playing Alurin.
he's a very, very strong player. Let's get Alurin on the
Yes,
on the stream.
that's table 6.
Table 6.
I think it's Alurin versus Is It Delver.
6.
6, please.
Greg Mitchell. Thank you, Judge.
Okay.
We got 3 judges tonight. That's
We got 3.
fancy.
That's good.
Fancy.
Yeah, we've got 2 judges and another one in training. That's
All right,
great.
let's line this up. Let's hopefully they accept. But I'm pretty sure Greg will be fine to come on stream. That's we're just in the meantime we'll type the.
So Greg Mitchell is on. I think he's on straight Bug Alurin with. He's playing a little bit of Snow Splash. He's playing the Snow Snack and then some
Snick.
Snick and then some Arkham's Astrolabe and then Dead of Winter's at the side. And Is It Delver? I think it's pretty standard. So there's 2 different builds you get. You get the more burn heavy one or the wastelandy one.
Alrighty, cool. Well,
So,
we're
yeah.
gonna swing it over to the match now. Hopefully we see the guys on the features there. Give me a second.
Oh.
All right, we have. Let's figure out the sides here. I think we have. Who's on what side?
I think it's Greg at the Crystal Worlds play Matt.
Yep.
Yep, that's him.
Yeah, that's his head. Yep.
And that's
Okay.
that's his watch.
And great. So just write hello. Let me just update these names here.
Yes.
Everyone. And we also have who are on the other side. Let's fix that. And what is Andrew on? Sounds like Blue Red Breach. I was like, what? Alrighty. We've updated the scores. We are in round 2. We have Greg Mitchell versus Andrew on Alurin and Blue Red Delver. Alrighty,
Okay,
so
I'm gonna
have you seen this matchup before?
I played this matchup round 1 last week.
Okay, and you were on.
I was on the Allurin side.
Okay, and
I-
how'd it feel for you?
I suicided game 2, and I still won the match 3-0 with no sweat. So it's really good usually from the Allurin side because you can just kind of play really slowly and just trade away your value creatures.
Mhm.
Like if you're playing Baleful Strix into a Monastery Sorcerer and a Delver, like you're feeling good.
That's true.
And then True Nemesis is the one card you have to worry about. But unless they have a really heavy burn hand, you can just it's not fast enough a lot of time for you to combo kill them, or you just beat down with a bunch of really dorky 2-1s.
Oh, you're right. I think I was commentating last week. I was watching you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. I suicided game 2 because I decided to cascade, and then I cascaded past my Parasitic Strix twice.
Yeah, we saw that. We saw you went. You put it to the bottom. We're
I
like,
straight suicided. I was okay. It was too brutal opening on turn 2. Carpet of Flowers to make mana into Strix through a daze.
Mhm.
So I just gave him that game and went to game 3 so I could just trounce him 3-0.
That's hilarious.
Win on the draw. That was the plan.
Yeah, we were a little bit suspect of you cascading then,
That was not good. Nope. That was my first time sleeping up the deck.
but all the value of you cascading to other stuff was pretty awesome.
Oh yeah.
Watching good old Cascade on Legacy.
Oh yeah. I ended up 4-0ing that day, and so did Greg. Greg also 4-0'd last week.
What was Greg on? Allurin. as well?
Allurin. We're both on Allurin last week. We both 4-0'd.
Nice. That's pretty good. Yeah, I'm glad that you played it out. I love trying to play it out for the rest of the night. Get that legacy action in, right?
Oh,
We're
yeah.
very fortunate to have a lot of players with diversity of decks here.
Oh yeah. No. I mean, I played it out because I want to get the 4-0.
Fantastic, yeah.
Okay.
Get that credit.
Oh yes. I got to get a Tabernacle.
Are you trying to save up for the tapper?
I mean, yeah. I mean, no, I don't know. I have like X $100 of credit, just seeing what I can get
Nice.
by the end of the summer before I head out.
Oh yeah, because you're heading back home, right?
Yep, going back to I go to uni in Toronto, but I live here. It looks like a mulligan to 6 on Andrew's side. Mulligan to 6 on both of them.
How are you liking the London Mulligan?
I think it's interesting. There's like a whole lot of just degenerate BS going on, which I don't really like. I like worse. You get to play. Just say you get to take shortcuts while deck building because these mulligans. You get to play more cards that are more situational because if you draw them accidentally, you can put them on the bottom.
Yep.
Okay, Sam, I was going to buy a mode. I can buy 2 modes. That's how much credit I have. And mine are going to be in English at Sam. I am adding you. Snow Island and Snow Swamp into Strix.
So is the snow part really adding that much value?
I don't like the snow part because I'm pretty sure Greg is playing Astrolabes, but the reason why it's decent is because you get to play like 6 or 7 copies of Baleful Strix. You get to play the Snow Strix as well.
That's true, yeah,
There's
just more
no
Strix.
cardboard live as far as I know. To answer David L. Byers' question.
Yeah,
in
we've
chat.
been talking about it and thinking about it, but just need time to set it up. So all good. But we have a flipped Delver there from Andrew. Typical Delver stuff, blind flipping, force of will with a active Delver.
Yeah.
But luckily for Allurin here, Greg has a resolved Strix.
So this is like why the matchup doesn't really. I don't think it's really good for the blue red Delver side because Greg put a removal spell into play that draws a card,
Mhm.
and you can just stare at Andrew, and Andrew will have to either waste a card removing it, or just have to attack into it. So I'm pretty sure he's going to cantrip first, but I think the main deck Grim Lavamancer, which is going to end up being fairly strong against this Allurin build.
Yeah. Funny that actually, we're talking about creature decks, about Allurin being a creature / combo deck, and it's sort of funny that because of the London Mulligan, people are playing more and more combo decks.
Oh yeah. Because Allurin gets some really clunky hands where you get multiple copies of either Allurin or Cavern Harpy. So being able to like put them back is really great. Especially so like if previously if you look at the top 6 cards in your deck and there are 2 Harpies in it, you're forced to keep the 2 Harpies. But if you look at the 7th now, it's not a Harpy, you can always send one back, even though it's the top card of your deck.
Brainstorm is sort of a good card.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Legacies, no, I don't think it's abusing it enough yet until there's people like week 1 on Magic Online, they were playing 8 copies of Leyline in their Miracles decks.
Mhm.
A really good start for Greg. He actually can curve out into Island, Swamp, Forest, having all basics in play against the either Price of Progress or Wasteland deck, and just easily just blow up that Grim Lavamancer.
It's so funny just to see like Greg have 3 basics and just still be like winning pretty effectively.
This is round 2. Both players here are 1-0. Yeah, so then Greg just easily just trades with the Delver.
Oh, for sure.
Oh,
Dreadhorde. Arcanist.
Dreadhorde is not doing anything right now. As there's no 1-drops. There's probably going to be some entering the graveyard
Yeah.
soon.
I was about to say like just cast a spell. Why not?
Oh, this is a juicy days target.
Evil.
But I don't think Andrew has the days. He would have fired it off on.
He flipped the Forcible earlier.
Yes. So I'm pretty sure Greg is going to force him to make him force here.
Mm-hmm.
Because Greg also playing force can certainly force back. And I think Greg has a correct read that Andrew is not holding days.
Yeah, he would have dazed it first.
Yeah, so I think a force back here is certainly defensible. Pitching
Oh.
Watcher for tomorrow.
Hideaway guy. I love that.
And this Leavold's a really good answer to this Dreadhorde Arcanist.
Yeah, it just blocks the 1/3, right?
And also, the cantrips don't do anything. You can scry. You can flash back your cantrip and scry, or look at the top 3.
Interesting enough, actually. Greg playing Abrupt Decay over, a trophy, but Abrupt Decay is generally more
I think
suited, right?
Abrupt Decay is the main deck card. Trophy's a sideboard card.
That's what I thought. That
Sylvan Library main deck out of Greg. That's a good.
he wants the grind. He wants the grind.
I mean, he's got to find an answer for this Delver, because this is he's at a somewhat precarious, going to be at some precarious life total against the 6-bolt X Price at Progress deck.
Mhm.
So I'm not sure if Andrew's on Price or Wasteland yet. It's usually these blue-red Delver decks picks one of them.
Yeah. Playing Price in Blue Red Delver just makes you more of an aggressive shell than anything.
Oh yeah.
Library.
So I think Greg's
Library.
looking Prismatic Vista, X. You cannot really take 4 here.
Mm-hmm. I
Because
think Lurin is normally a 3-color deck.
3 colors. Sometimes
color?
it's 4 color if you're trying to play recruiters, but Greg is on straight bug.
Gotcha.
Astrolabe.
I'm playing that in Scred, actually.
I mean, it's good. It's a snow permanent.
Yeah, draws card. It's just like, what does that do? What is that draft common? Single mana, draw a card. I actually had 2 of those in my Modern Horizon Steel deck, and it was really good.
Prismatic Vista. Another Modern Horizons card. So last week, Greg saw I was playing Vista and he wasn't, and said, "Oh, Kelvin, your deck is poorly constructed."
Mhm.
And now I'm going to go up to him and say, "Greg, your deck is poorly constructed," because he admitted he was wrong, and now he's playing Vista.
I'm just saying, like, alright, so why didn't he fetch if he didn't like the top? Or
I
maybe
think he actually did like the top.
He did like the top? Interesting, okay.
I mean, if he didn't, it's either that or he thinks he can't really afford to go to 4. Because if he goes to 4, Andrew has the option of just attacking with Arcanist
Mhm.
and killing him to Lightning Bolt. Oh, this is good. Parasitic Strix to drain you for 2.
Yeah, gain some life. It's like the mini Siege Rider, right?
Oh yeah,
Oh, wait.
and it flies. Oh, he has a black permanent,
Okay, that's what I was about to say.
and it also blocks a Delver.
That's true, it does.
This is why this matchup just usually.
Wait, what is the power and toughness of the Strix?
It's a 2/2,
It's a 2/2, okay.
and now it's eating a Force of Will. Oh jeez.
Take 1.
So Greg may actually die to this Delver.
This is so weird. Blue Red Delver we're on turn like 6 or 7,
Yeah.
and there's not one cantrip or like activatable spell in the graveyard from Dreadhorde. That's
Oh, yeah.
really rare. They have so many cantrips.
And so many bolts. Cantrip's not doing much right now because in the face of a Leovold.
I know, but I mean like
Yeah.
the bolts and stuff. just
Bolt.
like-
Bolt would be lethal because he just bolts Greg's face. Okay, this is Scry 2.
I mean that's good.
Oh,
The
send those to the bottom. Those are not good.
Dreadhorde.
And a Ponder. Those both got to go to the bottom. And then
Dreadhorde on the bottom.
this may be a swing out to Scry 2 again.
I mean that's probably the best draw you could have gotten, right? Out of all the cantrips.
Yes, it's the best one because it allows you to both ship 1/1 is aggressive. So you think you put Ponder on top? I don't think the other Dreadhorde's good. I would not keep Ponder because you want a card in your hand that actually does something.
No. I think he wants to be able to. If he doesn't deal with the Dreadhordes, he's just going to attack with 4
Yeah.
creatures.
Yeah.
He's like, you have to block 1. and you'll go to 0.
Yeah, so I would definitely bottom the Ponder dig for a Bolt, because Bolt's just automatically lethal.
So you think it's the Dreadhorde next?
I think he Ponder on top.
Oh,
Dreadhorde to the
Ponder? Okay,
bottom.
my bad. Yeah, you're right. But I'm saying he's just going to attack
Oh,
all 3 creatures.
he
That's
didn't
right.
draw. There's a Leovold in play,
No, he did not draw.
which is correct, as there was a Leovold. He was not allowed to draw preordain. There was a Leovold in play. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Okay. So Greg just died to the dorky beats.
Just, just a modern deck.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Three
Just
Force Wheels.
some 1/3s and some 3/3s.
3/2.
Oh yes.
Oh, you're
Yes.
talking about Levo?
Yeah. Leovold. Yes. Okay. Looks like coming from the sideboard, we
What are you
got
expecting here? So, like, wait, Andrew won, right?
Andrew
on that run
won.
with the Delver. What are you expecting here from Greg? What do you played a lot, right?
He played Learn. So he's on similar sideboard to me. I had Plague Engineers usually come in because neither naming Elemental, Human, or Merfolk.
Yes, to kill the true
But
names,
also,
right?
if you name Zombie for Dread Arcanist, it's 0 power and no longer does anything.
He can cast those packs. No, but you're right. You're right.
Yes.
That's actually really, really relevant because it gives a -1/-1.
And also, there are Assassin Trophy that you bring in because as removal for 3/2 flyers is really good.
Mhm.
He also has Blue Elemental Blast.
Yes, yes. I mean, so your bug, yeah, you can have that. Yeah, that
Yep.
makes sense.
Well,
Build it.
Blue Elemental Blast is mainly I think it would counter Lightning Bolts.
Do you like
Also,
from your experience in Legacy? Do you feel like Dreadhorde Arcanist is going to be staying for a long while in Legacy?
I think so is more of a mid-range threat because it's really good. It's really strong, just generating value and sitting in play and attacking.
Mhm.
But it's at its best when it's flashing back removal over cantrips.
Mhm.
So when it's flashing back removal, you can actually clear the way so it can keep attacking for next turn.
Yep.
Rather than cantrips, where if let's say your opponent has there's a 3 power creature in play, it's going to trade off.
I think in all the matches I've seen at Dreadhorde active, I've always seen it go Thoughtseize, flashback to Thoughtseize is my
Oh
worst
yes.
nightmare. Or the Ponder Dreadhorde attack a Ponder again during
Oh yes.
the beginning during Declare attack.
Or yeah, like Brainstorm Shuffle, Flashback Brainstorm is usually really good, especially for this Fatal Push.
Mm-hmm.
Fatal Push flashback off Dreadhorde is insane. And then there's some people in Vintage, like Absolute Mad Lads, flashing back Ancestral Recall.
Oh yes, yes.
I'm like,
So Dreadhorde is getting played in Vintage as well.
Vintage.
I did not know that.
Oh, it's a little bit. Certainly getting played in Canlander.
Okay, well, it seems like Dreadhorde is definitely going to be one of the more popular cards. I mean, the fact that Young Pyromancer is so popular, obviously with the Incident Sorcery sort of meta in Legacy, is like, it's a staple card in Legacy. While like you see people trying to play Mardu Pyromancer in Modern, and it's just like,
Yeah.
it's okay.
I think Mardu Pyromancer just actually got some really good upgrades out of Modern Horizons because Smiting Helix is like the real deal.
And this little bad boy here,
Oh, geez, this card.
Seasoned Pyromancer.
This card is the real deal. This card's sick.
I love this card only just because LSV revealed it, so you know it's a good card. But just being able to get so much value from discarding discarding 2 dead cards, drawing 2 cards, getting 4 power on the battlefield, then
Yes.
getting more tokens later on.
Also, Unearth is legal too. So you
Yeah.
can discard it and then unearth it. And also, it's a 3-mana 2/2. But if your hellbent just draws 2 cards, it turns your bad cards into at least either tokens or other good cards. And if you're playing cards like Faithless Looting and Smiting Helix, you can just say, "Oh, I have this card is I don't know why this card was printed, but this one."
I actually lost this at the GP.
Oh,
I forgot about the flashback.
It's good. So it's a sorcery speed lightning helix that you can discard for free,
Mhm.
or it's a 4 mana lightning helix on the front hand, which is not a bad deal.
I mean, this looks like an amazing limited card. Like it's 4 mana, it helixes, which is
Yeah.
not, it's a removal spell that you want in your deck. And then out of nowhere, you just say, "Oh, wow, they're casting it again."
Oh yes, oh yes. And then this card's been popping up in Legacy for a little bit,
Mhm.
but now this is legal in Modern. It's got all sorts of shenanigans going on with Death Shadows and stuff.
Yeah, I've
mainly.
seen people float that card around with Mentor.
Oh yes, yeah. Mentor spiked because of that.
Yeah.
Okay, match is starting. Let's go.
Let's go. Actually, speaking of that, one of my close friends in Sydney, Tom Dowling, was actually one of the winners of a bunch of RPTQs with Mentor in Modern. So he popularized that deck back in Modern again.
Okay, we got the ideal start out of the blue red Delver deck going turn one Delver. Does not want to flip on him though.
So yeah, no blue blind flip. We drew that Misty.
I mean, actually, like surprising, the odds out of a blind flipper is sub 50%.
Do you know what I call this? This attack here from Andrew Torres. It's attack with a fugitive wizard.
Oh, it looks like we're gonna flash in a snow snake and trade. Oh
Alright.
no,
Bye bye Delva.
I think this is probably getting dazed. I see a daze in hand. This must feel really good for Greg.
Days. I wonder if they're gonna. No, he won't fight over this.
I mean, I don't see why. I mean, this is pretty decent out of for Greg because his opponent's now behind a land.
And tips over the library.
Yes.
Such soul.
Yeah, Greg can take one. He's fine. I see a cantrip post combat.
Good old human wizard getting in for the
Human wizard.
one damage there.
I mean, if you name human with your plague engineer, you kill delvers and pyromancers,
That is true, but not the elementals.
not the elementals.
And another Delver follow up from Andrew there with
Ooh.
that untapped fetch land.
If
So
this-
that was just perfect.
If this is a turn 3 plague engineer, this is gonna be a blowout.
Please, Greg. Plague engineer.
Plague
go.
engineer, plague engineer. Oh, here. Ah! Ah!
Oh!
Oh!
There's another day. I mean, like, I was expecting a million days.
I think he's actually got that's a force soul, but I think I see third days in hand too.
Just, mate, Andrew, on the guns today, buddy. No lands, 2 flip delvers, counted 2 spells.
This is where you want to be.
Yes, I think chat is definitely right on that one. Days for days.
Oh yes. Oh yes. Getting for 6. I have no lands. I don't care.
I mean, I think Greg was playing it well. You know, he tried. That would have been a 2-for-1.
I think he baited out 1 days on the snow snake. I think slant shoving for 3 there is on the 3 drop is fine.
Yeah.
Mainly because if your opponent actually dazes there, they have no lands in play.
And it's sort of awkward if he waits an extra turn and then tries to Plague Engineer the next turn. Then
They flip and don't do anything. Yeah.
yeah, they'll flip, but they'll it'll just be only stopping 2 damage. You know, they'll go to 2/1.
They go to 2-1.
And then he also flipped a Force of Will, which is sort of bonkers.
Yeah. So I think Greg's ideal follow-up is Astrolabe. Okay, I think Greg is looking for Strixes here.
Yeah, definitely. He's still on 11. Still got some time.
He's got 2 turns.
He also potentially could flash in that snake again.
Yes. Yes, I have the mana for that. But Andrew is on 3rd days.
Also, Andrew still has that island that he flopped earlier. So
That's nothing. Greg's just going to lose to the janky beats, looks like. Oh,
alrighty. Well, that was a good match by Andrew there. He just had the perfect draws and the
Perfect
perfect,
draws.
delvers.
it's lined up.
Through.
Yeah, that was the Delver game plan, where you got to just edge it out. You win with no card. You win with no cards in hand, and they're for exact damage.
I mean, I know it's Blue Red Delver, not Grixis Delver, but it just felt like it did the perfect Honda Civic thing. You know?
Oh yes,
Did exactly what the turn 1 Delver, turn 2 Delver, counter spells in response to literally anything you do.
oh yes,
And then I kill you with 3 turns.
yes. I play with whatever jank is left in play.
Alrighty, how about Kevin? You want to go run around and see if we can get a backup
Oh
match?
yes, I will look for some stuff.
Alright, thanks, mate. We're going to try to get a backup match here, guys. Thanks for just hanging out for a quick second. Hope you guys enjoyed that match. We've got a bit of Lurin and Blue Red Delver there on the feature match, but we're just going to get good old Kelvin here to try to get a backup match. But yeah, we're about halfway here through round 2. 30 minutes left on the clock. Yep, about 30 minutes left on the clock here. But if you just joined us here, you're watching Legacy at Mox Boarding House. There we got one.
Got an interesting one.
Nice. We got a backup match. Who do we? What do we have?
I think we got Dredge versus Humans.
Oh, sweet. And Humans is from Jake, right?
Yeah. So we got Jake McCune on Humans.
Yep.
So yes, he should be on.
We'll switch over to the feature match right now, go.
Yeah.
Okay, we've still got the previous players there, but just 1 second.
Hey Jake. Okay, Boston, I don't believe you, Mister the man with a plan. You always play bad decks. And Sav, Alluring is great. Sometimes that happens, but it only happens if you're a bad player. So the match is currently tied at 1. They're going into game 3. Dwayne won game 1. Jake won game 2. Where is it? There, this one.
Wayne Jing. Alrighty, with Dwayne. And what's he on again?
Dredge.
What kind of dredge?
I think it's Mana Dredge.
Regular mana dredge with
I mean, I saw Wismare in his deck. So that is definitely Mana Dredge. Yeah, Delver and Stoneblade. Okay, I don't get it when people try to play Swords of Plowshares and Delver in the same deck. They're just not conducive to the same game plan.
actually the Stoneblade decks that got really popular from BBD. I think just because that deck, yeah, I was a bit funny with that deck. It's just that BBD is just an amazing player.
Yeah.
So you stick like good spells in a deck, and he could take anything to a championship.
Oh yeah, I think so. Owen Turtenwald won GP Washington DC in 2012 playing Blue White Delver Blade or something like that.
Mhm.
And his quote after thing was, "I only play this deck just to prove I could win a tournament with any pile." 'Cause that's how the deck. I don't get why people play it or how it wins. I think it wins with the Stoneforge draws and doesn't work with the Daze Delver draws.
Yeah, it feels like all the best removal spells in white plus Delver. Like all the best cards in white, basically, plus Delver. Because Delver
Yeah.
can be slotted into any deck that has a lot of instant sorcery in it.
Yeah, at the same time, Delver is an aggressively slanted card that tries to get your opponent dead. And Swords of Plowshare is something that says you gain X life. And then Stoneforge Mystic is something you're trying to cast for 2 mana when you're playing 4 copies of Daze in your deck. So I think the time that deck wins is when you draw basically your pseudo-aggressive Miracles kind of draw, where you're drawing Curving Stoneforge Mystic into Back to Basics into Jace with a bunch of random white hate bears like say Containment Priest, Aethys One Canis, and kind of those draws.
Yep.
Also, yeah, in TNN, you're playing 3-ish copies of TNN.
TNN is
Yeah.
such a silly card in Legacy, man. It's built for multiplayer, and then you bring it into Legacy, and it's like, oh, that's cute. Wow, that's actually really good.
Oh yeah, it's like, you can't touch it.
Yeah, that's why you need to vial it in off for Aether Vial.
I had a Esper Taxes deck brewed, and the main interaction was Spell Queller plus Cavern Harpy.
To bounce it.
So yeah, put the trigger on the stack, targeting their spell, and then you bounce it.
Oh, so Spellcaller has the same as like Tideholder Scholar.
Yeah, it has the two-part templating.
Okay, so it goes away forever. It's in exile.
Goes away forever, and then it goes back in your hand. So let's say, oh yeah, Spellcaller, target that. In response, have my Vial into Cavern Harpy, put my Spellcaller back in my hand.
That's pretty cool.
Then you can pay 1 life to then put your Cavern Harpy back in your hand, and you can just loop it.
Nice. But what do you mean? Most of the Legacy spells aren't 3 or less. No, 4 or less.
4 or less.
Yeah, no, I actually use Spellcaller to stop Supreme Verdict a lot. No, people don't read the card properly. Yeah, it's good.
Delicious. I like that.
Cause in response, stop your verdict that you just slammed on the table, untap, attack with your 2/3 and a bunch of other guys.
Oh yes. David L. Byer, Mentor is $40, mainly because a bunch of people in Esper and Mardu colors were trying to brew with it with Unearth. So you have like Jeskai, like Mardu, and like Esper Unearth Mentor builds in Modern. Really spike the card.
I think it's mostly due to Modern. And Mentor's always been played in Legacy, but Modern drives a lot of card prices because people are silly and they go out and buy out.
Oh yeah, because Modern decks being a little less expensive than Legacy decks, people can more likely just go out and just shell out and buy the whole deck. And also, stores like to cater to that. So the big buyers who can actually buy out the entire stock on the market, they're more likely to respond to Modern stuff.
Yeah, I feel like as well with Modern, because it's so much more accessible because of the price, people chop and change decks way quicker than they do in Legacy.
Oh yeah.
And you see Modern players will be like, oh, I own 5 or 6 decks just because, I have the money to swap and change decks.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a very sad culprit of that myself because when I started Legacy, when I started Modern, Jund was like $400 or $300. Like, Tron was only like $200. So I was like, okay, ended up like, buying a deck, winning credit, and then buying another deck. And now I'm stuck with all these cards.
Oh yeah, I recently sold out a lot of modern cards. So the only modern decks I own like humans, and then I owned like Pod. I used to play Pod.
Yep.
So I had a bunch of those things that I just turned into both like the Devoted Company and the Devoted Devastation deck because like, oh, these are the kind of creature decks I like to play.
Mhm.
But then yeah, I was like, I never got into like the Jundi stuff, which is annoying.
All right, you got Dwayne here doing the good old Dredge. He's on upkeep. He's discarding Gogai Grave Troll. Why do you think Dredge is doing this? What is their game plan here?
I think he's already hit the one Narcomoeba. So basically, this looks like at least 11 cards worth to hit to the go to the yard. There you go. Holding priority in response to the failed suiting, discarding to a putrid imp. He's going to put 12 cards in his yard, trying to find Narcomoebas, Icarids for next turn, and eventually going to try kind of Cabal Therapy Jake McCune a bunch of times.
Wait, what was that red card?
Shenanigans.
In main deck? Oh, he's in game 3. You're right.
This is game 3, yeah.
Against humans? I guess he's trying to hit Vile.
I'm pretty sure Vile and Grafticker's Cage are common hate cards out of humans.
That's true.
Because humans being a 5-color deck, your cards you're playing have to either be humans, creatures, they can be non-human creatures, and artifacts or colorless spells.
Yeah.
So most common graveyard hate cards out of humans are Grafdigger's Cage and Leyline of the Void.
Yep.
So it looks like Dwayne hit at least one bridge and is therapying Jake. Okay, what do you name here?
I think you just name. I mean, he's manaless. I mean, he's not manaless.
Containment Priest.
Yeah, it's supposed to containment priest. Yeah.
Sniper. It's a good name.
I hit it. Nice. Yeah, that's probably the main card he's worried about the most.
I think he's worried about that because a Grafdigger's Cage would have entered play already.
Mhm.
Another card that's actually fairly good against a Dredge deck is Thalia because it can almost lock them out of casting most of their spells.
Well, that was actually going to be my first name. I just want to say because like they operate on an axis where they're doing Cabal Therapy and they're doing what's that? That's a reanimation spell.
Oh, Dread Return.
Dread Return. Yeah. So they operate on an axis where some of the lands help to do like cast Breakthrough or whatever, but most of their spells are sacking creatures.
And let's see Plague Engineer in Jake's hand.
Yeah, that seems pretty good.
Because the humans is the 4-copy Phantasmal Image deck. I'm not sure if the Legacy build's similar to the modern build, but if you're able to copy a Plague Engineer, you can really lock the Dredge deck out of having creatures in play.
Awkwardly enough, but he has a Wasteland in hand, and a Plague Engineer is a carrier. It's not a human.
It is not a human, no.
No.
But also being black means you can't Noble Hierarch. But I think the deck is playing Ancient Ziggurat, which doesn't care what creature type it is.
Sometimes I also play Gemstone Cavern, but I don't know about the modern build, the Legacy builds.
So Jake made us fire off this Wasteland because the Gemstone Mine's in play. That means if Dwayne still happens to have a Breakthrough or Faithless Looting in hand,
Oh, that'd be bonkers.
then he could most likely mill another half of his deck.
Does Dredge play Life Alone?
No.
Not
Not this build. You don't want to have spells extra to cast. I'm pretty sure they're usually on 12 or 14 dredgers, 4 Grave Troll, 4 Imps, and
Here they come.
here come the Icarids.
Yep.
Exiling a couple of Black Duders. Let's see.
But they still play Street Wraith, and all that stuff, right?
Some builds do. I usually play Street Wraith if you're not playing Prized Amalgam.
Gotcha.
Here comes a Dredge 6.
Oh,
He's looking
Grave
for
Troll.
Narcomoebas and Bridge from below, so he wants. Oh, it's a Hogak.
Hogak. 8/8 Trampler. Here we go.
And
Against the humans deck. He's got a Reflector Mage in his hand, but he saw that from the Cabal Therapy.
Oh yes, and actually looks like Dwayne is on the Flamekin Zealot build, so Jake may die as soon as next turn.
I'm gonna bring up Flamekin here. He's
I
he's
think it's Dash.
Oh, wrong Flamekin, guys.
It's Flame Dash Kin and then Zealot.
Flame Dash Kin Zealot. Is that right?
Yep, that's it.
The reason I know this card is because it's an elemental. I'm making an elemental tribal deck at the moment. Yeah, that's gonna make all your zombies hasty.
Hasty and huge.
Yeah. What 3/3 is huge for you?
I mean, okay, if you have 20 of them, that seems pretty big.
Yep.
Looks like Jake here is just trading off his champion in order to exile Bridges out of the yard. Dwayne still gets a zombie. And now here's a Hogak. Boop.
Boop. 8/8 Trampler.
8/8. 8/8.
And yeah, I think I've been seeing people play like a one-of, but I don't know if they're playing more Hogaks in this deck. But It just seems really good when you're dredging like 6 or 7. Oh, wait,
Oh,
Grave Troll, is it
yes.
6, right?
Grave Troll is dredge 6, yeah.
Ah, that's insane.
So one spicy thing about Hogak, out of Vintage Dredge, one way you can lose is if your opponent gets an Elishnorn in play. And usually you had no outs to Elishnorn. But now, since Hogak is a 7-cost black card, you can X out the Sickening Shoal and give their Elishnorn -7/-7.
You're right, Sickening Shoal, yeah. Oh, that's
So
hilarious.
you actually now have outs to Elishnorn. Well, also, if you're lucky, you can cast an 8/8 before the Elishnorn, and then you have a 6/6 against their 4/7.
That's true. Elish Norn, that's so funny. Yeah, Elish Norn is a strong card. What do you think Jake's trying to do here? Do you think he's...
I think Jake is trying to stay alive long enough in order to leverage his the Plague Engineer, and then try to copy it on Zombie.
I see.
Because the Pugilim also is, I think the Pugilim is also a zombie.
I think he's trying to cast a middling mage. I don't know what he's going to name here.
There's the only spell that Dwayne's going to be casting is Dread Return. This does not do anything. Dwayne's hand is completely irrelevant. He's not casting spells for the rest of the game.
He's probably just curious anyway. It's a bunch of creatures. Yes, Freebooter does not get creatures, but I mean, good in modern. I mean, good in Legacy in general. Just get a peek at people's hand at instant speed sometimes. I think Meddling
Jake's
Mage
stuck
could
on
have been a good
lands.
play, and just to name like whatever's relevant in the graveyard there.
I'm pretty sure Jake is going to die to Dread Return.
Yeah, is Dread Return in there?
If there's a Flamekin Zealot in the deck, I have to assume that there's a Dread Return in there somewhere.
I'm just saying more than the sake of like in his graveyard right now.
I think Dwayne. I think he has 30 cards left, and usually 2 Dread Returns, so he's
On the bridge.
not the worst to hit one.
All right, he hasn't hit
I
one yet.
don't think he has one. Yeah.
Yeah, I think 2
Yes.
Dread Return makes sense.
So the Dreadless are either playing 0 or 2 to 3. Because people play 0 and just take the value plan, which is actually very good against all the blue decks. You're not trying to cast spells. It's like, I'm going to put Icarid into play a bunch of times. It's going to leave a bunch of zombie friends and then just kill you with them.
I mean, it is relevant that Jace gets to tick up to 2 next time the turn revolves back around. But yeah, Dwayne has just definitely got a lot of creatures on the board.
So Dwayne playing really tight, sacking all his creatures before combat. So Jake does not have the option to trade away and exile his bridge. Also taking the Plague Engineer out of his hands. So I'm pretty sure Jake is dead. He's about to take. I think the zombie on the end is summoning sick. 2 Icrits have haste, so he's coming in for 6, 10, 18, 20. It's an attack for 20.
Okay.
Hiya.
I guess we're blocking something. If you can.
So he can only block. No, I think this is lethal. I think it's attack for 20. So this is 10.
3 1s, right?
Icrits are 3 1s, but that's 18. So that's 6, 10, 18.
Yep, he's dead.
Even he blocks Hogak. Hogak has trample, so he still takes 18.
Yeah, he's doing the maps now. Alrighty.
Hey, yeah. Dredge,
And Dwayne wins the match.
Love myself some Dredge.
I think it's over, right? Oh, he's just showing the crackers.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Okay, Vintage Dredge right now is super spicy.
How's Vintage Dredge? Oh, bring it back to the booth here.
Oh, yes. So Vintage Dredge at the moment has gone to 4 lands.
Wow.
Just Bazaars. And
Of course.
16 or 18 0-mana spells.
Mhm.
We have 4 Missteps, 4 Force of Will, 4 Force of Negation, 4 Force of Vigor, and 1 to 2 Contagions or Sickening Shoals if you want.
Chajin. Oh, is that the black spell, right?
Is the
Sorcery?
black pitch spell from Alliances, yeah. It's an instant, says you can exile a black card from your hand. You get to distribute 2 -2/-1 counters onto up to 2 target creatures.
Wait, they're playing Force of Vigor, the green one.
The green one,
They're playing that main deck.
main deck.
Well, because obviously all the...
I mean, it's insane, because
all
let's
the
just say
artifacts.
someone opens, like, Mox thing, and it's like, oh, blow those 2 up. Or if they're like, oh, I'm trying to combo you with Mystic Forge, like, oh, blow that up.
But you also named Force of Will and Force of
Negation.
All right, so what kind of blue cards are they playing in Vintage?
You're playing Prized Amalgam,
Of course, yep.
Narcomoeba.
Mhm.
So that's 16, and then I think that's usually it for blue cards. Then you have all your other forces you can pitch. Oh, and your missteps.
Of course, on your missteps. And are they still playing Moxes as well as usual?
Nope.
No
Not
Moxes?
nope. No. There's no Mana Source's main deck. You can play like some sort of petrified field.
Mhm.
Whatever that's it's a land that you can sack it to get a land back. It's usually there's I don't think people play. Well, people play between 1 and 3 main deck or 0. A lot of time. Petrified Field. Thanks.
What does
Yeah.
Petrified Field do?
It is a land that taps for colorless, and you can sack it to return a land from your graveyard to your hand.
Actually, I had a friend randomly ask me to get that for him, but I don't know why he wanted it. Is it because Vintage Dredge?
It's vintage dredge, but also it's played a lot in EDH.
Okay, that makes sense. He's also an EDH player.
Because if you only have one copy of a land, you want to get it back. But also, it's played in Gitrog EDH, because you can sack it, then you draw a card, then you get your land back.
Oh, nice. It's because it taps for colorless, right?
Taps for colorless.
And then you can sack it and grab something. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yes. Yep. But then in Vintage, he's like, oh, you stripped my Bazaar. I'll get it back.
Awesome. Alrighty. Okay, so we're just at the tail end of round 2 now. People are still finishing their games. But we're here at the booth, just talking Vintage for a quick sec now. Did you want to do some trivia?
Oh, let's do some trivia. Let's go.
Do you have some, or you want me to do some?
Okay. I got some too. I got some cards, some new cards. Let's see if you can name them by their flavor text.
Okay, that's cool. Let's do it. All right,
These cards
same
are-
rules, all right? So I won't look at the chat. I give the chat 30 seconds to
Yes.
guess what it is,
30 seconds. Yes.
and then I'll have my answer.
Yes. So these cards are all somewhat new, so past 5 years, and are all playable in Legacy. They have all been on stream at some point.
Okay.
The past couple weeks.
And you have clues to follow the.
I do have clues to follow. Yes.
Okay, sweet. All right, go ahead.
Okay,
Bring it on.
Okay, this one a little bit hard. This is a new one.
All right.
Okay, the flavor text of this card is try if you must.
Oh, I feel like I should know this card. All right, try if you must. All right. I don't even have a clue, let alone like, no. Okay. Can I have the first clue?
The first clue is in its text box it says counter target descriptor spell.
Counter in its text box it says
Counter target, then an adjective, which
Yeah.
is blank,
Yeah.
spell.
Okay. So the only cards I know that do that is like, you have. Wait. Is this that wizard card? That like you can tap a wizard? No. Oh. Is it a tap ability or is it an activated ability?
It's in the text box. It may not be an activated ability, but it's in the text box of this card.
Okay. Need next clue.
It is blue.
It's blue. But it says counter target something spell.
It's blue.
Yeah.
Okay, additional. It can be cast for 0 mana.
Force of will?
Close. You're on the right track.
Force of negation.
Force of negation.
I thought so, yeah. I was
Yes.
like, this is... Okay, yeah, it makes sense. Because it's, you can just pitch a blue card and pay
You
life.
can just pitch a blue card. So that's something new.
Alright, yeah, that's true. Force negation is definitely... People are like, I want more forces. And you can also hard cast it.
You can also grab it. There's also just a dissipate.
Yeah, I keep forgetting that it exiles the card. I always
Yes.
go, it gets countered, and then they go, exile it. And I'm like,
Yes. Okay.
alright, next card.
Another piece of trivia. This is not in the flavor text. This
Okay.
is based on the rules text. Really rare rules text. There are 2 cards in the game that say protection from everything on them. Name those 2 cards.
That's Progenitus and Hex Drinker.
Hex Drinker. Got it.
I know that card because I
Yes.
just had a conversation about it like before the commentary today. I was like, guys, you guys see that Hex Drinker is getting played in Modern as a 2-of? And people were like, yeah, it's so random that it's getting played in Jund.
Oh, yeah. I like those. I opened a couple of those and sold them pretty fast.
I'm so sorry. I actually answered that one way too quickly, but I gotta give chat a chance to answer. Alright, give me another one.
Okay. So here's another flavor text from a new card.
Mhm.
Pull it up. Okay. Where water is the canvas and lava the paint.
Wow. Okay. Alright, so that's the flavor text. Wow.
That's the flavor text.
Okay. Is it hard for me to ask what the card type is?
Land.
It's a land. Okay. It's a land.
So the flavor text hints at what two colors this land is.
Okay, say the flavor text again.
The flavor text is where water is the canvas and lava the paint.
All right. This one's okay.
This one's a
so it's,
harder one.
so okay, it's not Volcanic Island because I don't think Volcanic Island
It's not have flavor text. No.
doesn't have flavor text. It just has a spiral. May I ask what? Okay, can I ask for the clues?
It is okay. Yes.
What set is it from?
This was printed in Modern Horizons.
Okay, okay, and it's been played in Legacy.
It has been played in Legacy. It has been on this stream.
Okay, I think I
so.
know it. I think I know it. All right.
Yes.
I think it is Fiery Islet.
Yep, it is Fiery Islet. That is
Islet. I didn't know how to
correct.
say that word.
I think it's Islet or Islet, but yes, it is the Blue-Red Cycle Land.
Nice. Yes, I know that card because it's just a great card. Blue red always wants extra cards.
Okay.
All right.
Got one more card.
Okay.
This is one I think is hilarious in Legacy, and it's one I've talked about previously on the stream. Okay. The flavor text is the present is a matter of perspective.
Oh, I think I know this one. I was actually just talking about this the other day. Okay. The presence is a matter of perspective, right?
The present.
The present.
Yes.
Card type.
Sorcery.
Okay. Just put it down. Okay. You said it's played in Legacy?
It is played in Legacy.
Played in Legacy.
It's not a staple per se, but it is a fringe playable. Not a fringe playable, but there are a subset of decks built around it.
Sorcery.
Sorcery.
Okay. May I ask the set?
I'll give you the first hint.
Okay.
Its text box is identical to a card in the Power 9.
Okay. Is it? Okay. I think I have my answer. Is it Ancestral Vision?
Not Ancestral Visions.
By the way, I'm really bad at Magic. The fact that I always get Visions and Recall mixed up, and I realize Recall is a completely different card.
Yes, Recall's a good one. And then there's the card Actual Recall.
Okay. Next clue.
The converted mana cost is 6.
Oh, is it Echoes of Eons?
It is Echo of Eons.
Okay, because I was about to say, what 6 mana sorcery spell played?
I mean, yeah, it has the identical text of Time Twister, besides the flashback cost.
Wow, that makes sense because it's a throwback to Time Twister.
Yeah.
That was a very good one. I like that one.
Oh, yeah.
I like how you win the theme of like Modern Horizon cards.
I mean, yeah, those are all the good ones.
Definitely, yeah, definitely. Awesome.
Oh, yes. Also, like, mainly because those, like a lot of, like, the kind of more recent cards, but a lot of the sets that are more recent either don't have flavor text on, like, the good cards, or, like, all the cards are not very good.
Let's talk about Modern
Yeah.
Horizons, or just like
yes.
recent, like as you guys know, we've had a big flood of spoilers / cards come out in the recent set, right? We have Modern Horizons, we had Core 2020, we had what's the one before that?
War of the Spark.
War of the Spark. You know, the Planeswalkers somewhat did a impact in Legacy.
Oh, those Planeswalkers.
And everyone's like, yo, it's a circus. Let's have Planeswalkers everywhere. Narset, Tough Fairy. I mean, I remember when 5-mana Tough Fairy, everyone's like, yeah, maybe a one-off because it's just really good if you can resolve it.
Yes.
And then everyone's just jamming to Baby Tough Fairy now.
Oh, yeah. I like the best thing I've seen is, like, it's Teferi with 3s instead of E's. I'm like, yeah, that's really nice.
And people have been calling Ren 6 W6.
I get dub 6.
Dub 6, dub. Anyways, there's been a lot of sets coming out, and like especially because it's splashing on other formats like Modern and Legacy, especially the ones what we care about.
Oh, yeah.
What are your thoughts about that? Like, do you think there's too much products coming out at once?
There are quite too much coming out, because I'm usually someone who gets, like, 1 or 2, like, sealed things of each set. And recently, like, I just have not had the time or money to really put my focus on each set as it comes out. Because, like, War of the Spark came out May 1st, then Modern Horizon came out June 10th-ish, and now
Yep.
Core 2020 came out 2 weeks ago. And they're all sets that really did not get their time to really shine, because most sets usually take a 2 or 3 month round
Yep.
on GPs, either being the main event or being, like, the main side limited event for things before it really dies down. So Modern Horizons had about a month. It had two GPs where it was the sealed format of choice before the Core 2020 came out.
But that's the crazy thing. Like we are all pretty much attuned and used to seeing standard come out every 3 months.
Every
And
3
like
months, yeah.
once in a blue moon, we get like 1 or 2 cards that maybe get tested in Legacy, right?
Yeah, so it's because like previously, like the release schedule was there were your 4 standard sets, and then your 1 additional set.
Yep.
And usually the additional set had some spicy things that were new,
Mhm.
or it was a master set that was reprints, so
Yep.
nothing crazy to break a format because all the cards previously existed.
Yep.
Or you get something like Conspiracy, which had cool cards like Dak Faden, had like the last Conspiracy had like really sweet
Voting
stuff.
cards and stuff.
Yeah, they had the really sweet stuff. They had like the Monarch, that's actually been pretty good. Palace Jailer, Recruiter of the Guard, Sanctum Prelate,
Yep.
stuff like that. Like Queen Marchesa's even seen play in some 4-color loam decks.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. But like, yeah, I agree with you. By the way, I think there's been a lot of sets coming out, and like, I don't want to sound like a first world problem here, where we're just
Oh,
like,
yeah.
oh, they're giving us too many cards. Oh, and like, I think Saffron Olive said it himself really well in one of his tweets. He's just like, as a content curator, he feels like he's overexhausted with too many
Yeah.
cards coming out. But it feels, I don't know if any of you guys play Yu-Gi-Oh, but people say like sometimes they just print a really awesome card. It's like 50, $80, and then they're like, oh, everyone loves it. Let's just make a promo, like a dual deck, come out of nowhere and make the card price go down from 80 to like $2, and then they just print it to
Oh yeah.
print it to death. And like it's just like out of nowhere they just do it for demand, right? Well,
Yeah.
Magic has some sort of control, and they realize they have to be close to the community. But it's kind of crazy that as of lately we're getting so much cards. It's sort of a little bit
Yes.
exhausting.
It's definitely a little bit exhausting. Well, at least like they don't have the problem where they keep reprinting stuff into oblivion. Like Magic's a little more conservative with the reprint policy, but the new stuff has just been insane.
It has
It's
definitely
kept-
been insane.
Yeah.
And people are joking around saying that they felt like Core 2020 was actually an extension of Modern Horizons.
I mean, a little bit, yeah, because Veil of Summer is absolutely, it's not going to do very much in standard, but that's an egregious hate card for the more eternal formats.
I mean, Veil of Summer is an amazing card, but even just like reprinting the ley lines
Yeah.
is a big deal. The fact
was
that ley
good.
lines are in standard is kind of weird.
I
I'm
like
not used-
that.
I like it, but I'm just
Yeah.
not used to it. I didn't come from a time when ley line was in standard.
Oh, yeah, I mean, last time it was Magic 2011 was last time Leylands were in standard. So
Yeah,
that's still a while ago.
2011, yeah, quite a time ago.
At the same time, I'm pretty sure that they printed Hogax, like, Hogax going to be fine, we'll just tank the price of Leyline of the Void in the next set.
Mhm.
And then, like, also, yeah, they should not have banned Rich and Blow. I think the ban should have been Altered Dementia or Hogak, or both.
So I'm happy that
Not out there.
Bridge from Below got banned because that was actually my guess. Because the way
Oh,
I always see,
He won the pot.
I did also win the part. Yeah, good by the way. No, but the way I've been guessing the way Wizards think for a while now, just because it's all started off with like Theros, and when Theros came out, they were experimenting with permanence. Research shows people like creatures and permanence and things on the battlefield to go, hey, this is what I think Magic is all about, right?
Also, that's definitely more fun to watch, too. Because,
Yeah.
because as a spectator's part, you see that in play, you're like, oh, I can actually... That makes a lot more sense than something that's on the metaphysical stack,
Hmm.
which is not...
Yeah,
It works better in online formats, not on paper.
exactly. Well, you think like Bridge has already been broken in the past, and the fact that it's in the graveyard, yes, it's doing cool things and it's very flavorlistic, right? That your creatures are dying and you're getting zombies because it's coming out of the bridge below. Flavors through the roof. But I think to watching a new player watching the game going, why are you getting free creatures for?
Oh,
And
yes.
Why are you casting your creatures for 0 and you're getting a bunch of zombies? It doesn't make sense, and it's
Yeah.
very hard to try to comprehend that for a new
Yeah,
player.
but also it's a card that it doesn't do anything. It does absolutely nothing while in play.
No, it does
Yeah.
lots of things. It adds Devotion of Black for Grave Monk
Oh,
and Asphodel.
yeah, because you can do your thing. You can cast it. If you can't put it in the graveyard, you can cast it. You can cast Wispmare, put the trigger on the stack,
Yeah.
trigger, blow it up, goes in the graveyard, then you evoke it, and then you get a 2/2.
That's true. A lot of convolution there. But
Oh, yeah.
I think Wizards have a tendency to want to make creatures. I mean, make permanence a real deal.
Yes.
That's why you have stuff like Devotion and all these new
And
mechanics that are like.
especially how they're going towards planeswalkers
Mhm,
over
mhm.
spells.
Yeah, definitely. Planeswalkers are the superheroes. They're like the Ifrit that you summon, like Final Fantasy,
Yeah.
that come and help you temporarily and then leave because you are the main character. You are the main player of
Oh,
of
yes.
the calling the shots. But these guys come through portals like Endgame, and
Oh,
they come and
yes.
help you, and then they defeat the war and they disappear.
Oh, yes.
All right, that ties us into the end of the round. Hopefully we have the results wrapped up for round 2, and then we go into round 3.
And we got something spicy. I'll pull the metagame. If you have any requests of what you want to see in the next round, type them in chat in the next 5 minutes, and we'll see what we can do.
While we listen to the Pokemon song.
Okay, Sam, I know you want Tundra. We got a Rug Delver. We have 2 Rug Delvers in the room.
Yep.
Let's see how they're doing.
But unfortunately, my
That was
plague engineer ability has killed all the Delvers because there's just so many Delvers everywhere. There's Grixis Delver,
And where's
Izzet
Robin?
Delver, Rug Delver, 4-color Delver, Delver.
Oh, both of the Rug Delver players were 1-0. I think there is a sneak show in the deck. I think there's one sneak show, but there's also a Nick sneak.
There's a Nick attack sneak fit. That's a pretty
Nick
cool name.
attack sneak fit. Yep.
What do you think they're attacking with their sneaks?
I think they are putting in Veteran Explorer because you can go to end step and then sacrifice its sneak attack ability and then get 2 lands.
And then you can activate it again because you get 2 lands.
Yes, exactly. Perfect.
Yes, and then no, but I actually learnt the trick from Patrick Daly, one of the Nick fit specialists in our Seattle meta. He said that when you play Evolutionary Leap and you sack the Veteran Explorer, you should get another forest in case you hit another Veteran Explorer,
Oh
and
yes.
just chain off,
Oh yes.
chain off, chain off, chain off, chain off. That's
so
it,
spicy.
all day, every day. Yo. But yeah, we are wrapping up round 2. I think there's only one game left that everyone's crowding around. Usual,
But
typical
I
Magic stuff.
actually don't think there's any miracles in the room. Oh, there is one blue-white miracles.
Yep, Casey Lock, right?
Yep, that is it.
No, there's miracles up there. Isaac.
Oh yes, yeah, there are
Two
two
mir-
miracles.
But we're just gonna put on Mill and call it a day, right?
Oh yeah, no, if Mill's 1-1, we were playing Mill.
Come on, it'll be fun, guys. It'll be fun.
Okay, we get to do some library counting.
Yes, yes.
See, yeah, so if you're trying to like be like a 2,000 IQ player, you don't count life total because that's like everywhere you can see it. You count library counts.
Yes, and we're just gonna rig the matchup, so it's gonna be Mill versus Lance.
Yes. Oh yes. And then you can see the Lance player be like the pro sideboarder and decide in 10 cards. Don't take any out. Just be a 70 card deck.
Just get him, soldier.
Exactly. It's like, hi, mill this out.
So when I first mill a long time ago in a modern tournament, I did not know that they sometimes side in Gomag anglers and Tassicas into their deck, and I took all my removal out, and then they like just turn into Mesmeric or mill myself Gomag, and I was like, oops.
Oh yes. Oh yes. I like playing Visions of Beyond out of your mill deck.
Mhm.
That card is great. The card's attached to recall. It's so funny. I love it.
So technically, you could say that I've also won by mill because I sometimes play Helm and Leyline.
That one counts.
Yes, I've also played mill on stream then.
Oh yes. I've had someone kill me on turn 1 with like turn 0 show and leyline and then Rit helm you. I was like, well, okay.
Wait, Rit. So you get a 3.
You get 3, 5,
Five,
4 for the helm,
4.
and then activate X equals 1 target you.
Wow, I might as well be playing Belcher.
Oh, I love playing Belcher. Belcher is great. The best thing you can do out of Belcher is if you play like your really just weird sideboard plan of like a bunch of random things to wish for. My favorite one is either Telemann Performance or Bribery.
So you grab the creature out of their deck.
Grab the creature out of their deck. But if they're, let's say they happen to be playing lands or Storm, you just mill them out. Because there's no creature to hit, so they flip over their entire deck.
That's true. Oh wow, you're right. That's pretty good.
There's no Belcher in the room, sadly. Wait.
Bribery.
No, so if you're playing Telemann Performance,
Also, your teleperformance.
you can mill someone out. When you're playing Bribery, it's like, oh, I'm playing against Reanimator. Oh, cool. That's a Gristlebrand. I'll take that.
Mhm.
I will draw 14 cards, and then I will kill you.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had good and bad times about Helm because sometimes I just hit a random creature and be like, I don't need this Stoneforge. What am I gonna get?
Sometimes you're trying to hit Emrakul.
That's true. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So we're gonna get. They've got the last pairings coming into the matchup now, and we're gonna figure out what we're gonna pull up. But yeah, we had Bomberman earlier today. We do have like 1 or 2 Bomberman people. We have like a 1 random Eldrazi post. I don't think he's doing too well, but Ian doing well?
Ian McCarthy or Ian Hathaway?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I think Ian Mitchell is on Mill.
Oh, sorry, Ian's on Mill. You're right.
So I think we've got 3 Ians right now.
Ian McCarthy. What's he on? Oh,
Ian McCarthy
Did he win?
is he won.
He won.
He won
because,
round 1, so he's 1-0.
because Eldrazi is the best deck. No, but watching Eldrazi is not that fun. You just like jam everything. And also unfortunately it's just the best deck in Magic. So
You like yourself some noodles?
mate, love the spaghetti. Love the spaghetti. And the best part is when people play Oblivion Solar and then like exile people's Dark Depths on stage and then just win and kill them with their own Dark Depths. Merit Lage. So good. Anyways, yeah, we're waiting up on the pairings now.
Okay, yeah. So to answer your question in chat, the Legacy has Eldrazi deck. How is that tech different from Modern Tron? The deck is different from the modern decks because you get to play 4 Ancient Tombs, you get to play City of Traders, you get to play
Good.
you get to play all of the Soul Lands. You get to play up to 16 Soul Lands if
And-
you really want to.
Yep.
And it's definitely more of an aggro deck playing Chalice of the Void, and you're playing Mimics, Matter Shapers, Thought Knot Seers, Reality Smashers, and Endbringer, or sometimes Oblivion Sower if you so choose. And it's turboing out these big noodle monsters, and then trying to play more like a prison deck with like a stumpy finish.
Yeah, there's 2 types of Eldrazi actually. There's actually the aggro one that he just
Yes.
described. Then there's the big mana like Tron version. But the great thing about the aggro one, I'm just gonna name this. This has happened at least 4 or 5 times in my life. You can play Ivugin and then drop 3 mimics and an endless one. So you can drop 8 power into one and be like,
Oh, and then if you're playing Spirit Guide, you can play a Smasher on turn 2 and kill them.
oh mate, yes, that's no. The best part is you play Ivugin turn 1, you drop like 1 or 2 mimics, and then turn 2 you jam your Thought Knot. They go to daze it. You pay for it with a Simian Spirit Guide, and then
Brutal.
they're like, and yes, and then you just like, you
Okay.
get a card from them, and then you also attack with 4.
No, so the best feeling is sometimes the Eldrazi decks, so they Urborg, so their Ivugin can tap for mana.
Mm-hmm.
So if you open Urborg Cavern of Souls, Ivugin, so you have 5 mana, you can tap for 3 black, and then your Smasher costs 2 less. If Cavern of Souls is in play, that Reality Smasher is counterable because the only colorless source is the Cavern of Souls.
That is true.
So yeah, I have certainly had a very salty opponent after I dazed a Reality Smasher through a Cavern of Souls because the Cavern of Souls was the only colorless source.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to tap Cavern of Souls for colored mana if you want your creature to be uncounterable.
Yeah, I actually sometimes when I tap my Cavern of Souls to cast my, if I have Ivugin and Cavern of Souls in play, I'll be like tap Cavern, cast Matter Reshaper, and like I'm technically still tapping my Cavern.
Oh no, that's a legal play, but they have
They have to realize.
they have to realize it's just like when you have like an certain humans, like sometimes you can name like advisor or like Vidalcan or like wizard when you're like trying to play stuff. And then you say you tap you tap it for a colorless Anthalia, you cast it, and then if your opponent doesn't ask, they can counter it. Like they can counter it. So if they ask you, you say, "Oh yeah, it's counterable." But if they assume it's not they assume it's uncounterable, then like that's their bad.
Yeah, actually, like, cause I used to say green or red or blue, and when I was like casting my creature to make it uncounterable, right?
Yeah.
But I spoke to a judge about this, and he said that you'll have to assume it's best to assume that like if it's uncounterable, that you're using the uncounterable ability.
Oh yeah, there was a big judge call a while ago.
Matthew Saxon and Robert, they are on 2-0.
That's great.
Matt's on blue white, right?
Storm versus Rug Delver. And then we have Rug Delver versus Dredge. Travis, I think Corbo's on 4 color. And then Andrew Torres is the blue-red Delver. Then we have blue-white Blade versus Maverick. Then what's Ian McCarthy on? Ian McCarthy is on
Do you want to put Matt
post.
Saxon on?
Yeah, table 1, please.
He's a very good player. Huh? 19?
I think
19?
that's Enchantress versus the Final
Do you
Fortune
guys want to
Prison.
see Enchantress versus Final Fortune Prison?
So I'm pretty sure Curtis does not like to be on camera, but I would ask.
Ask 19 first.
Ask 19, and then if
If
not,
not-
table 1.
Table 1.
Yeah.
But we gotta respect.
Yeah. So we certainly should. We want 19 because 19 is Enchantress versus
Final Fortune Prison.
Final Fortune Ice Crown Scepter Prison. Then otherwise it's Ant versus Rug Delver.
I think that's pretty good. Like the fact that
that's a very classic Legacy matchup.
Who's playing the Ant?
It is Robert Lawrence.
Nice. Yeah, that's good. That'll be a good one.
Oh, so we're gonna see some stifly boys in the house.
Okay, so he's gonna. All right, he's still asking people. It's all good. It's all good. But yeah, we're ducking into round 3. So let's get the timer ready. Let's see if the matchup will get in. Yeah, one take the
Took
timer
a
has
look.
not started.
We're watching. We got our eye on table 19.
Let's look quickly.
Oh, they're getting up. They're getting up. Let's go. Let's go.
All right, we're in. All
We're
right,
in.
put the names in.
Um,
We have who would we have? Wait,
uh,
one sec. Yep. Can you get one person to sit on the right side? Okay, who's sitting on what side? Curtis is on the left.
Player on the right.
Enchantress is on the right. Great. We'll put their
so
name in.
Enchantress is Steve Wisnowski.
All right, guys. We're gonna swing it over to the match now. They're getting ready to set up. Steve.
Yes. Steve, and then Wishnowsky. Wisnowski. Yep. That is Steve Wisnowski. I probably butchered his name. So, Steve, if you're watching this right now, I apologize. Or in the future.
An Enchantress.
Yeah.
And the
Oh,
score.
I can't type.
Okay. Just fix up that name. Enchantress. And they're both 1-on-1, right?
I think they're 02.
Okay, we'll leave it like that. And here, what's his on? Curtis, right?
Curtis McCoy.
Yeah. And then the name updated.
And Curtis is on. Wait, what do you want to call this?
I think he called it Final Fortune Prison.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
So he beat me with this.
Okay, who wants to. Let's pull up Final Fortune.
Let me just save that in. All right, names have been updated. Fantastic.
Okay, so this is a card called.
All right, why they get instant? Take an extra turn after this. At the end of the turn, you lose the game. Funny that actually. You know what my trivia question was that was going to be extra hard for you? I'm going to name now while they're setting up, guys.
Okay,
How many extra turn spells are there in red? What are their names?
there are two. There's Final Fortune, and then the sorcery version of Final Fortune, which is like Second Chance or something.
Last chance,
Last Chance.
and there's another one.
Oh, what's the third one? I can't name it.
It's Warrior's Oath, and it does exactly the same thing.
What, gosh.
Warrior's Oath.
This is a sorcery.
Yeah, it's sorcery. Yep.
Oh gosh.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh. Why?
The Portal 3 Kingdom version.
I love it, like so many cards. They're just like portal shifted. Because like Nature's Lore has a portal shift.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's these Goblin Lore also is portal shifted. Then you have Vampiric Tutor is portal shifted.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have Capture Jingzhu, and then Ravagers of War also is portal shifted cards. So it's so random. I love it.
So when I versed Curtis on this deck, he has obviously the Isochron Scepter, he has Boris Charm, he has that chant. What's that chant?
Orm's Chant.
Orum's chant. He also has Gideon, the 3-drop Trials, the whatever.
Getting of the Trials.
Gideon's of the Trials to stop losing the game.
Yeah.
He has Pact.
As far as
He's White Pact and Blue
yeah,
Pact.
White. He's Blue Pact.
Yeah.
That's spicy.
Oh
yeah, there. Okay. Oh, actually no. There is. Okay, never mind. There is a red-white Boros version of the same effect.
I think he's playing that one.
I think that one's costs 3 mana though, so you can't scepter it.
Yeah, you're right. There is a red-white one that was in standard.
Yeah.
That your creatures get indestructible.
Yeah, so creatures get indestructible and
You
then take an extra turn.
and then you lose the game.
Then you lose the game, yeah.
They're playing it with they're playing it in 5-color Lich's Mastery.
Yes, yeah, it really is on the art. But also, you can play it with there's a card. There's a card that said like 3 mana end the turn from Amonkhet.
Yeah, that's the one I was talking about.
Glorious End. Yes.
Glorious Hand.
So that's like this one.
Wait, hold
It's on the right place, yeah. Yeah, it's this one. It's like end the turn. At the end of that turn, you lose.
Oh, that one. Yes, that one. That's the instant speed, yeah, end of turn. That's like the sundial effect.
Oh yes. Then you can cast on your opponent's upkeep.
That's pretty cool. And ending the turn stops all spells and triggers,
It
right?
exiles all spells on the stack.
Nice. Alright. Typical Enchantress. It's always... Is
Wild
it
growth.
Wild Growth, right? That's the other Utopia Sprawl sort of deal.
Yep, it's the original Utopia Sprawl.
Nice.
It can enchant any land, but it only taps for green.
Ooh, timer. Can't timer.
Oh, that's a Lotus Field entering the fray, and then a land tax.
I love Lotus Field.
I think Curtis kept a one-lander, and the one-land Mox Diamond, but he's about to get a bajillion lands off his land tax. Oh, this is so good. So Curtis kept effectively a one-lander.
Can you move the left counter forward? Thank you.
That's spicy. So Curtis went Mox Diamond, discard Lotus Field to play land tax.
Yeah, I want a Lotus Field so bad. I got a few regulars coming through, but I want foils.
I mean, it looks really pretty in full. Oh, got turn 2 Enchantress's presence. So that's exactly what the Enchantress that wants to do.
And that's the one that you cast an enchantment, you draw an extra card?
Draw a card, yeah.
But it's must, right?
It is. All the Enchantresses are required.
Okay, except Ideal... No, you're right. Idolum or Blossoms also is a must.
I think Curtis missed his land tax trigger. I think he really needed to resolve that. Yeah. Oh, well, I think Curtis is now very behind because he was not able to find any lands off his land tax. There's 2 cards for Steve, one from the Presence and one from the Abundant Growth.
Yep. Draws 2 cards.
Looks like another Abundant Growth, which is exact. And then
I think there's a green floating as well. Yep,
There's
there
that
you
Gothing Enchantress.
He should have a green floating, shouldn't he?
No. Yeah, he should have green floating. Yeah.
Yep.
You tap this and then for a green. Yep.
Alright, now he's
land taxing.
land taxing. Yep. Maybe he wanted to draw an extra card.
I mean, you get to do both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Because he scryed, remember? So he... maybe he didn't scry. You're right, there's no scry.
He was on the draw, so
Yeah.
if he did yeah,
There's no scry, yeah.
no scrying.
But all good. He's picked it up now.
Yep. Draw a step.
Cut the deck.
Oh, he is playing Angel's Grace.
Yeah, that's it. He also he's playing against with Icecrown Scepter is pretty good.
Oh yes.
Oh, he's doing it before his draw step. Nice. Because that's instant speed, right?
It is. Yeah, this Enlightened Tutor is instant speed. I think he's probably gonna find another Mox Diamond here, unless he's got. Oh, that is one.
Skull Rack.
That's one's pretty good with land tax.
It is, because you get to shuffle back all your lands
All your lands, yeah.
and then draw those awesome cards.
Oh yes, he's drawing Skull Rack.
So much shuffling. Now draw.
Boop.
Boop. That Mox Diamond doing its thing.
And he's got another Mox Diamond here? Because he has another Mox Diamond here, that'd be very good. Because then he could also cast his Skull Rack this turn.
Wow. Steve's going to draw a lot of cards when he
Ooh.
casts an enchantment.
He's got an Orange Chance in hand, so if we don't see an upkeep Orange Chance Steve, I think that's what you need to do here, because Steve is every time he plays enchantment, he will draw 2 cards. This is draw 3 cards.
That random enchantment that he just cast, the whatever in Abundant Growth, whatever, is it? What's this one? The one that he just cast?
That's Abundant Growth.
That's just such a random draft card.
Yeah, well, the reason you play it is because lets you put it on a basic forest. It draws a card when it enters, so you can play all your random colored spells without having to fetch duels that can be wastelanded.
That's good.
Because you don't want to have your card with a bunch of enchantments on it be wastelanded.
That's true. Yeah.
But also, I'm pretty sure he's got an Estra's Invocation in his hand.
What's that do?
It is an enchantment that when it enters the battlefield, it's a copy of another enchantment, and at the beginning of your upkeep, you can flicker it.
Oh.
So it can come back as a copy of a different enchantment.
Wow, he's drawing 4 cards.
He's going to draw 3 off the second presence.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Or 2 of second presence. And then I'm surprised we didn't see an Orange Chain on upkeep from Curtis.
Okay. Seems like he's just trying to get the Skull Rock value.
Yeah, Skull Rock value. Yeah, let's take your 3 lands.
It's a lot of basics.
Oh, yes. I think he's got moons in the deck, too.
Best part, he's got the Boros sleeves.
Another Skull Rack.
It's a lot of cards.
So I'm pretty sure I think he's going to start Orange Chanting Steve, because this enchantment, this enchantress deck can start snowballing and just start locking out of the game pretty fast.
Yep. What's the? There's that card that stops from it taking damage, right?
It's solitary confinement.
Yeah.
Prevent all damage done to you. You gain shroud.
Seems pretty strong.
Yes. And especially when the drawback is you skip your draw step and you have to discard a card on upkeep.
Which you have so many cards from the drawing
Exactly.
anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Alright, so we've got a scroll rack there resolved. And how much scroll rack to cast?
It is 2 to cast, 1 to activate. Okay, I'm gonna pull up a card called Astrid's. Here we go. Astrid's Invocation, Commander card. So, with this purpose, this serves in the Enchantress deck. It allows you to keep copying all the stuff all the stuff you want to copy. So you get to copy something and then exile it, then copy something again. You get to use every turn. So you have something that has like an ETB for a draw card. You get to draw a card every upkeep, but also you get to keep copying things like your Elephant Grass and your Solitary Confinement.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
So you can reset Elephant Grass's
Ability.
you get to reset its ability. So if it's something like a Doomwig Giant, you keep triggering a bunch of times, and then you also get the multiple triggers because it triggers itself as it's a Doomwig Giant.
Yep.
And triggers something else, but also it's another copy of your Enchantress's presence if you want to get it in play.
Yep. And people used to play Mana Bloom for like they were testing Mana Bloom because it bounces itself.
Oh
during
yes.
upkeep. But yeah, this seems just really really good, and also like that it's a cheaper version of Copy Enchantment.
Oh, Copy Enchantment. Yeah.
Why is that ridiculously so expensive? I don't know.
I don't know.
I mean, obviously it hasn't been reprinted. It's only in Ravnica, but yeah, played in EDH, I assume.
Oh, everything's playing EDH.
Yeah, Steve is definitely playing EDH here.
Oh yes. He's got an O-ring in hand.
Of course he does.
It's classy. I think he's just drawing 4 cards off the Abundant Growth.
That's a Serasectum,
He's
right?
already played his land for turn, so that's not doing a whole lot.
Yeah, you could have just chucked it on a forest, but you know. He's got the what's that enchantment called again?
Wild Growth?
No, the white
Abundant
one.
Growth? Oh, Solitary Confinement has entered play.
Nice.
So that's Elephant Grass. Yeah, Elephant Grass is great. It's a 1 mana Ghostly Prison with a kicker. It says black creatures can't even attack at all. So yeah, it's pretty good against Merit Lage.
Yeah, it's a. I don't think Curtis is also trying to kill people with creatures, but
I mean, I think he's trying to kill people by saying infinite turns and just Boar trying to kill a bunch of times. I think it's a classy way to win. Okay.
yes, Chad has pointed out this is parfait. I think that it's probably in the right direction, but you know, we're letting some of our viewers sometimes letting some of our players just name their deck whatever they want to name it.
Oh yeah, it looks like Steve is going to discard here, which happens quite a lot out of the Enchantress deck.
Can they mill themselves?
They can most certainly deck themselves.
Deck themselves.
But usually the way they avoid that is sometimes their kill condition is just hard casting Emrakul, which you can do quite consistently with all these enchantments.
Yep.
So when you hard cast Emrakul, then you can discard it, shuffle your graveyard back. If you take that strategy ahead of time. Oh gosh.
It's a lot of cards. Imagine if there was a leave up.
He's not activating Scroll Rack. Okay, so now he gets to, on his upkeep, shuffle away all the cards he doesn't want off his Scroll Rack and get 3 new lands, which he can then just put back with his Scroll Rack and find 3 new cards.
Yeah, that's true. The reason I love Scroll Rack is because I learned that it has a really good interaction with Omen Machine.
Oh gosh.
Do you know what Omen Machine does?
I've played against that at some point. Can't quite remember what that does.
What Omen Machine is, it's a 6-mana artifact that says players can't draw cards, and then during their upkeep, you reveal the top card and cast it for free. So with
Ooh.
Scroll Rack, with the trigger on the stack, you just draw cards, and then put the best card on top,
Oh no.
and then cast it. But because no one can draw cards, because Skorak doesn't draw cards, it just like reveals cards. No,
You look at them and replace.
yeah, replace them. Yeah, so it was like
I
a
think you put them into your hand, and then you put them back.
yep, which is kind of cool because no one can draw cards.
So spicy.
So spicy.
It's like is it land taxing. Maybe just setting up a scroll rack.
He's trying to set up a Skorak before he draws, maybe. Alright, you got two of the prison decks on stream here.
Is that a ruination?
Scroll racking. Scroll racking. It's got 4 cards.
Oh yeah.
Another land tax.
And that is an Isochron Scepter in hand. Oh, if he has something like an Ancient Tube, he can just start turboing out.
Does he still need a draw?
I'm pretty sure this was after draw.
That's also a draw. Gotcha.
Man. So if it's Isochron Scepter, Final Fortune, cast it. That would be hot. Then you can untap, go to his next turn. And just slam it getting the Trials. And I'm pretty sure Steve is now locked out, if that's what happens.
It's kind of funny because, of course, both of them are playing prison, right?
Yeah.
And both of them are just drawing a million cards.
Oh,
No
yes.
one's doing anything about it.
Yeah. I mean, you say, I think about prison decks. Prison decks like the worst type of combo deck, where they're just trying to do something, and hopefully you can interact. Oh, Isochron Scepter. I think it looks like the way his hand's positioned, he's tucking Orim's Chant.
Yep, Orange Champ. Alright, so he's going to lock out Steve. Hope Steve is going to realize what's going to happen here.
So Steve is probably most likely going to have to sacrifice his. So Steve actually has been cast out. Cast out having Flash means he can exile the Isochron Scepter on Curtis's turn.
In response to him trying to do it. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because he gets to untap. This is actually a good relevant point here. He's like,
In your upkeep. Yeah, you got to chant him.
chant them, and then he's going, "Are you targeting me? Because you can target a player." He's like, "I have Shroud, so
Yes.
you can't do that." I guess he'll target himself, right?
Yeah, you can target yourself. I certainly probed myself multiple times, or like lots of times.
You're right. So he's gonna sack the Elephant Grass because he realizes there's probably no help here.
Oh yeah.
But Steve has also not cared about the Orange Chant because that targets. Let's pull up Orange Chant, eh?
Orim's Chant.
And I want to say thank you to Patrick Daly for updating all the cards. And of course, we're using it to look up Orange Chant.
Orim's Chant. Target player can't play spells this turn. If you pay the kicker cost, creatures can't attack this turn.
Seems pretty good on Isochron Scepter, right?
Oh yes. I have certainly played this card out of my Storm sideboard as protection, alongside Teferis and Monastery Mentors.
Oh, that's so sweet. So you got Steve here casting a good old Mirror's Guile, the good old green Sensei's Divining Top,
Oh yes.
and some Utopia Spoils. Man, I must say, Enchantress really gets destroyed by Chalice in 1, doesn't it?
Oh, it's very rough. It's definitely rough because a lot of their draw engine just totally doesn't work. But Kamiri's Guile, what it actually is actually a repeatable natural selection. If you're unfamiliar with this card, it was printed in. There we go.
Oh, you're right. You're right. It's not a top because you can't bounce
You,
stuff
you,
to your hand.
don't, you don't actually draw a card. You just get to rearrange them.
Hey, I remember back in the days when people were trying to play when Top got banned. They're like, let's test Mirror's Guile and Miracles, because I was just trying really hard to bring the top back.
Oh, no.
It was quite bad.
Oh yeah, now people are also playing Soothsaying.
Which one?
Soothsaying.
What's that?
It is a one. Okay, I'm just gonna type it in here because
I don't know what this card is.
Soothsaying. Soothsaying is look at the top X cards of your library, put them back in any order,
Okay,
and then you can shuffle your library for 5.
that's hilarious. I'll be back, guys.
Also, at this point, I don't think Curtis can win.
Get okay.
Oh, you can't, yeah. So I'm pretty sure Curtis, his win condition is mainly, what's that card called? I think Curtis's win condition is Boros Charm plus Isochron Scepter, and since Curtis cannot target Steve, and Steve has a million cards, well, also he can't be Orm Chanted. I'm pretty sure Curtis is locked out of this game and can't win. So Steve has Escher's Invocation to start copying stuff. He's holding Cast Out to start exiling whatever problem permanents Curtis may have, and there's nothing he can really do about it. And so there's a second Solitary Confinement. Draw 4 cards off all these Enchantresses. I think that is a Living Wish, so there will be Emrakul or an Elishnorn, an Iona, something like huge entering the play very soon. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure Curtis can't win, and Steve is just finding whatever way he wants to close this game out. Probably, okay, usually it's Hardcast Emrakul. That'd be pretty good to bring into play right here. And yeah, Emrakul, one thing it does, it certainly beats the moat that Curtis tries to use to lock out opposing creature decks. Yep, just getting the land tax value in, I don't think it's going to help him. Moat, Blood Moon, doesn't do anything. Ancient's Grace. Humility, oh. Humility, I think that one doesn't do anything because Steve is holding multiple copies of Oblivion Ring and Cast Out in hand. Curtis is playing a Zurin Orb, it looks like. I don't know what exactly that one's in there. Carcass Pact of Negation. I think something. Oh, that is he is actually playing the literal card Ruination. And that one, oh geez. If he resolves that one against all these 4-color red piles, that's pretty good. Yes. Yeah. Thanks. Okay. Looks like we got Looks like we got looks like we got Lee back in the booth. I think we're watching Steve just close it out, try to find a way to
What has
actually kill.
happened?
So what's happening here is Curtis is land taxing, but he can't win because his only win condition looks like target Steve.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he has Shroud. So Steve needs to find a way to answer the Orm's chant because Orm's chant turns off attacking.
Mhm.
So Curtis can target himself and then pay the kicker.
Oh, so he just says no creatures can attack this
Since
turn.
creatures cannot attack this turn.
Oh wow. So Curtis can't. So 2 prison decks are literally just staring at each other.
Well, I'm pretty sure Steve is holding like multiple copies of cast outs. He just wants to go to his turn in order to. Oh, I think Curtis wants like infinite turns and then have no way to kill Steve and then lose. Because that is a Final Fortune under an Isochron Scepter.
Okay, let's see how Curtis wiggles his way out of this, because he's won impossible games before.
Well, he has infinite turns and he has a Gideon in hand. He's about to put into play.
Yep. Okay. No, he might be able to wiggle his way. He might have something like Chaos War.
Maybe. So yeah, because the Solitary Confinement turns off anything that targets Steve, but also turns off attacking.
I think Curtis needs some sort of game-changing Planeswalker Ultimate rather than the Gideon one to somehow close out this game. Like, there's that Gideon that like exiles all permanents except himself.
Gideon, Champion of Justice.
There's actually a trivia question I have. I don't know if you've heard it before, but one of my trivia questions I started off with trivia with was how many Gideons are there in Magic, and if you can name them all.
Oh, I think there's 6.
Okay, I'm gonna come back to you on that. I'll throw that.
Yes.
I'll throw that question at you.
He's his own Solitary Confinement.
I think.
Oh no. Okay. I mean, what's gonna happen here is since Solitary Confinement means he can skip his draw step, he can take infinite turns and never. I mean, so they both can take infinite turns, but I think Curtis is gonna deck eventually because he is taking turns as a discard to the Solitary Confinement and eventually sacrifices it.
Wow, that's quite the turn of events.
So I'm pretty sure Curtis had no way to win.
Makes sense. He's playing a dedicated prison deck.
Because I don't know.
But I think the important lesson that we learned here is that Steve took 1 damage, so there's barely a paper cut on his finger.
Yes. Steve is like, yes.
Speaking of enchantment decks. We actually saw Greg Mitchell playing last week on Ley Lines. That was awesome.
Oh, jeez.
No, was it last week?
Oh
or the
wait,
week
never
before?
mind. He can't actually deck himself because Gideon says he can't lose.
Oh,
So I'm pretty sure that's a draw.
So that just draws.
That's a draw. Like neither player can win.
So technically, Steve did not win. No one won.
No one won. Because, well, the only way that would end is Curtis can take infinite game actions and keep just playing his turn, like activate, move my next turn, activate, move to my next turn. So neither player is either advancing the game state nor slow playing.
But wouldn't Steve lose because he would eventually draw his deck out?
No, Steve never gets a turn because he's planning to take infinite turns with Final Fortune.
Oh, what? That's hilarious. I did not realize what was happening. So basically, by Curtis realizing that he's going to take infinity turns, and Steve never gets a turn, and he also can't lose because of Gideon. He just said, it's like a splinter twin, but says
Yes.
no one wins. It's an
Yes.
automatic draw.
Andy, the normal win condition for Curtis is Boros Charm under Isochron Scepter, except he can't do it because Steve has Shroud. He cannot deal 4 damage to him. So I'm pretty sure that is a draw because neither player could win and neither player could lose.
He needed some sort of enchantment, like Trickster
Yes.
Decophobia. Something that,
Yes.
like, deals... Everyone loses 1 life, each upkeep was saying.
Oh no!
And just be like, you're going to drain 1 forever. I'm just going to confirm with the players that no one won that game. I'm
Yes,
pretty
yeah.
sure no one did. Give me a second.
Yeah, I don't see any player actually winning that game. So yeah, I think a player said just took that as a draw, moving to game 2. This is hilarious. This is like the greatest thing we've had on camera in a while. This is wild. No, this is not the Gideon that exiles things. This is a Gideon that has a +1 makes it a 4/4, or +1 that makes things not deal damage, a 0 that makes it a 4/4, and then a 0 that gives you an emblem that says you cannot lose the game. Draw?
No, so I'll explain what happened.
Okay.
All right, so I just spoke to him. Curtis said yes, as we thought. Curtis will take infinity turns and no one will lose. Steve also had an Emrakul in his deck that he could try to get to if he had a turn, but Curtis ended up conceding to Steve because he's like no one will win, and he has to choose at a point in time where he can't do, like, he's like, I'm just gonna do nothing every turn, right?
Yeah.
So he has to choose a point in time to concede.
Yeah.
You know,
Or I think at that point the judge comes in and slow plays him.
yeah, I guess in a way that because he keeps drawing cards, but then eventually he'll get to a point where he can't draw his cards anymore, but he also can't lose, and Steve never gets a turn, so
Yeah.
he's doing nothing. So technically, yeah, he turns
Yeah.
into slowly playing because he's doing nothing in every turn
Yes.
because he's not advancing the game state. So he just conceded to Steve. Anyways, this is what you guys voted for, and this is what we got.
I think this is great. Oh, this is
It's
amazing.
hilarious. It's quite funny, man. I actually play Prince Index. This is actually what I enjoy, but it's just quite funny. That's all. To be on the other side of it.
I love it. We could see some moats and blood moons just chilling.
Yes. Wait. So Blood Moon is on the Enchantress side or Final Fortune?
Oh no, the Final Fortune Prison side's playing Blood Moon and Ruination. I saw a Ruination in his deck.
What does Ruination do again?
I'll pull it up.
Hold up. You can pull it up on the card finder. Oop.
There we go. I found it anyway. Ruination.
Greedy. He's not even playing from the ashes. Just straight up ruination.
Well, he has no non-basics. I mean, what if his opponent's like playing Miracles and then you don't hit them at Cirque, so he's not playing any non-basics
So
himself.
Curtis is playing Ruination?
Definitely just ruination.
Just
Yes.
Ruination.
Curtis has at least one copy of Ruination in his deck that I saw while he was sorting through it.
Wait, does Curtis have fetch lands? Or he doesn't?
So another card Curtis can use to not lose the game is Angel's Grace.
You're right.
So-
Under Icegram Scepter.
Yes. So yeah, you can put Isochron. So or you can use Final Fortune to just Time Walk, and then Angel's Grace, and then take a second turn, then go back to his opponent. I mean, technically, yeah, he could be zeroing Gideon, attacking Steve, and then all the damage would be prevented. I think what's that? Yeah, so I'm pretty sure the wording on solitary confinement is to prevent all damage that will be done to you.
That's true. But do we really want to watch
No.
Curtis run into a wall for the next 19 minutes?
Prevent all damage dealt to you, yeah. So if Curtis had a card that said damage cannot be prevented, then like
No, I'm telling
Yep.
Curtis just needs to put
he needed
Trichothicophobia.
yeah, and he needed Leyline of Punishment.
Why is that?
Leyline of Punishment says damage cannot be prevented, so he needs to just attack him with his Gideon, and then he would take 4 damage even if solitary confinement in play. Because solitary confinement says prevent all damage to be done to you. Then Leyline is Leyline of Punishment says damage can be prevented, so he'd be taking 4.
Oh, interesting line to add. Oh, you're right. He does have red. Alrighty.
Enchantress does play O-Ring, but Enchantress is not getting another turn. So yeah, I think Enchantress is. This guy looks like a land-heavy hand.
Yeah, you got a lot of lands there.
It looks like Curtis is on 1 land, Orange Chant, and Light and Tutor, Scroll Rack, Final Fortune, Final Fortune.
I mean, all he needs is to one land tax. Let's go.
I don't think he has it.
Maybe, yeah. I think it's.
He always got a Humility. Humility is actually good against the Enchantress deck.
Yes, you're
Because
right.
all their Enchantress. This is not the last round. This is round 3.
We are in round 3 of the prison mirror.
Looks like a mold of 5. 1 land. I think you gotta keep that. He's got Enlightened Tutor and Orim's Chant. So this Enlightened Tutor is probably finding land tax.
He's gonna play. Oh, he does have fetches. He has Aramesses.
Yeah. 'Cause I'm pretty sure he's got Basic Mountain somewhere in the deck.
He definitely has it. Yeah.
Or maybe he has 1. Maybe he has a couple Plateau too.
Because he was getting off a land tax, so he doesn't have. He definitely has a mountain.
Caracas. Humility, Final Fortune. More planes getting the trials. So he's got a Lotus Field. He actually has Lotus. Oh, but wait.
Stevie's just taking his
That's a
turn.
Plateau. No, wait. Lotus Field and then land tax.
Oh, that's good. Yes,
That's
'cause you sacked
good.
the
You can
land.
sack your lands and then search off land tax.
That's why he's
And,
That's awesome. Good work, Curtis.
and then it has
That's awesome.
Hexproof. So you can't even get Wasteland in.
That's awesome. I guess yeah, and he's You're right. Because like that's the one thing. Yeah, that's why you play basics. Like you're in a wasteland, but it's got hexproof. That's awesome.
Utopia Sprawl. So I think Curtis has an Enlightened Tutor in hand. I'm pretty sure he's going to try to find a land tax on end step. Try to get some lands. Or he's just going to take a draw step. Yep. Here comes the Enlightened Tutor.
What do you think he's getting now? Land tax?
Land tax. I think it's land tax. If he had a second land in hand, maybe Mox Diamond, but I'm pretty sure he's grabbing the land tax.
Oh, you're right.
There
He
he
get
is.
a mox. That's pretty good.
He doesn't have another land in hand, so I think he's only 1 land. So I think you find the land tax, cast on your turn, and then your opponent either gets you 3 lands or it has to stop on 1 mana.
I love how he politely. Oh, that was end turn. You're right. Right.
It's in a
okay.
turn, yeah. Boop.
Yeah, everything's resolved. Everything's resolved. Unless you abrupt decay or something.
I think there's O-Ring. So we could see a turn 2 O-Ring on that land tax.
I think I would.
It's just
Green Sun for 2. Grab a Gaddock.
I think he's grabbing an Enchantress.
Enchantress. You're right. Okay.
No, Gothian Enchantress. Yeah, pass the Gaddock.
I guess you didn't even care about Gaddock because he always spells it cheap.
Yeah, because they're trying to get him under his Isochron Scepter. I think the only spell that Gaddock locks out is Moat.
Yes, that's what he used to be me in Eldrazi.
Collector, oof.
Stop his mock.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Isochron Scepters.
It's Isochron Scepter, Mox Diamond, and Scroll Rack.
Yes, you're right. You're right. A lot of his pieces to win the game. And now he's gonna die to a 2/2.
That's good. It's a good one. This is the second time we've seen Oof enter play and blow someone out or be very good.
Funny enough, I know that he's getting cheated. Like he's getting put in through Green Sun's Zenith most of these times, but he's getting a real impact in Legacy.
Oh yeah.
All right, well, I'm glad the land tax resolved because he does not have any lands in his hand.
Yeah, so plains, mountain, plains. Yep.
Land tax is such a great card.
Yeah, it should print it into modern.
Make everyone like. I think Back to Basics should be a modern, by the way.
Oh yeah, we need more non-basic land hate.
Yeah, I agree.
Also, they should put it into modern, and then like people actually put like the Ayula's influence card and like Seismic Assault. It's like, haha. pew, pew.
No, I think Back to Basics would definitely fix the greediness in modern.
Oh yes, but also I mean I don't think Babbitt doesn't do anything against a turn 2 Hogak.
Yeah, Hogak is definitely a strategy that people are not used to.
I mean, yeah, go Hogak now. Just go like turn 1 like Citrus Supplier Mill 3, turn 2 Seder Wayfinder Mill 4, tap both of them Hogak.
Oh, because you don't need to choose a land. You're right.
You don't need
Yeah.
to choose a land. No. But also-
Citrus Supply made that deck insane, by the way.
Yes. The thing is, you also only need a mill. You only need to delve 5 cards. So you can I mean, just get it out there.
Okay. I wasn't sure why he casted this, but I guess he's just.
I don't think there's anything else to do.
That's true. Yeah, might as well do something.
Yeah.
All right, it's starting. The draw engine is starting. Draw two.
Abundant Growth. Draw 2. That's a Hall of Heliod Generosity, it looks like.
It's a foil, I think.
That card looks really pretty in foil.
Yeah. Or maybe it's not foil. I do like that card. People playing in lands. It's pretty cool.
It is. I mean, yeah, start rebuying all your chokes. It's just like doing lands. Like, I'm just going to keep dredging my loam. I want to draw choke and dredge my loam, get back my haul. Oh, I'll get back my choke. Choke you. Oh, countered it. Choke you. Oh, you countered it. Choke you.
I don't think you should say that too often in the stream there, mate.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Choke is such a great card, but
Love choke.
I love jamming Choke a lot.
Mm.
So what do you think the plan here for Curtis is? He's like obviously land taxing, sitting in his library, getting all those cards. What do you think he's now that there's a collector oof in play? What do you think his plan is?
Well, he's using the land tax thing. I don't think that's a Zuran orb. That also is turned off by the. I don't think it's anything to kill this collector oof.
I mean, he's playing red. Could he potentially be playing bolts? You think?
I don't think so. I mean, it's like prison, so I think you don't want to play bolt because you're trying to lock your opponent out, so it doesn't matter what you do.
Yeah, but you could potentially put a bolt on the Isochron Scepter.
Yeah. Isochron. You do get a trigger, so you can still imprint something. So yeah.
Yep.
Probably just imprinting Final Fortune. Looks like.
What he needs is a warp world.
Oh gosh, I'll be great. He has more permanence than Steve.
Yeah. I played a fun warp world deck in Modern. It was quite hilarious because you use Tireless Tracker to make clues.
Humility. Oh, that is a good point. Humility works. Because humility turns off
Oh, you're right.
Collector's ability. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, he could get humility out.
I think Steve has looks like he's got a Sanctum in hand and then a bunch of just 1-mana enchantments.
Yeah, seems good. Is Steve drew? He draw? Hope he drew.
I can do. 3.
Draw 2 cards. He drew 2 cards?
Yeah, I think he drew 2.
I think he drew 1?
Wild Growth, draw 2.
2? You draw 3, right?
That's a 2. No, that's a Wild Growth does not let you draw a card.
Oh, okay.
He's drawing 2 off the 2 enchantresses.
Oh, gotcha. What is that?
Ground Seal.
Oh, yeah, that one. Yep, that's a good one.
Draw 3. That's an Emrakul.
Alright, he's got the Serra Sanctum next
So
time.
enchantment count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's not quite there. Emrakul is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's 11. It's 11 mana.
But okay, I'm gonna try to learn this as well. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the Serra Sanctum will make 5. That makes 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
That's an abundant growth. Only taps for 2.
Oh, you're right. It
Yeah.
doesn't give extra mana. Yep.
Steve is on the Green Sun team with Wish build. Yeah. I think he's got a Teague in hand. So I think if Teague enters play, and that puts Curtis off humility.
That's true. Yeah. I'm surprised that Curtis doesn't have any removal spells. I know that he's trying to prison and all that, but some removal spells would be nice, right?
I think the best removal spell is Orim's Chant. He's like, you can't cast it.
That's true.
That's a little land tax. That's not good.
But he could get more basics.
I think he's holding a bunch of lands in an orange chant.
I think the land's from the land tax, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yes. Can never have enough basics.
Yeah. Curtis here is just playing a draft deck. Got his draft deck ready for the Legacy
Oh yeah.
4.
Well, his basics match. I think he's got an orange chant. He's probably gonna fire off on Steve's upkeep.
Does Steve just eventually just kill him with his oof? Wait, this oof's been here for a while. Wasn't he attacking with the oof? Orange chant? Okay, that makes sense. But why wasn't he attacking before?
I don't know. I mean, maybe sometimes you forget that it has text because the Enchanter set does not attack very often.
Okay.
I think the best thing to do is if you sometimes the Enchantress deck plays their own humilities, and then under your own humility, you get to attack with your own Enchantresses because they're 1/1s.
Oh, you're right. If you change the text on him.
Yeah.
But they lose Shroud.
They lose Shroud and they lose the ability.
Mm-hmm.
So Steve doesn't look like he still looks like he's planning on just setting up a big turn, just fetching instead of playing a Sarah Sanctum.
So you're telling me I can play a Humility Phyrexian Dreadnought deck?
It would be a 1 with no abilities, but if humility left play, it would just be a 13/13.
Exactly. This is where I'm going with
What you
this.
can also do is you can play Blood Moon, and then play Dark Depths.
Mm-hmm.
And
I'm
then,
aware.
then you remove your Blood Moon, and then you have 20/20.
Yeah. But then I wouldn't have a Phyrexian Dreadnought.
But you can also have Phyrexian Dreadnought with Torpor Orb, and then absolutely blow out your opponent's Snapcaster Mages and Stoneforge Mystics.
There's a local here that plays Illusionary Mask.
Oh,
Cheats it in.
oh no.
It's so good. Because it has such a weird text on it. Have you seen the text on Illusionary Mask?
I've tried to read that before. No, I did not want to spend like half an hour reading at
Yeah,
one
it's
card.
so convoluted. Alright, the Teague is out. The Teague is out. Stops all these board rafts.
So I think Curtis may not be in a good spot.
Let's see, I think he's trying to respond, does I? No? He's just hanging out? Okay, he's hanging out. He's drawing cards.
I think does he actually have an answer? He probably does after board. He's probably had to have something.
Do you feel like sometimes you just have too many cards?
No, never too many cards. It's like sometimes like you cast Ad Nauseam, you draw like 36 cards, and it's like perfect. Let's flip another one.
Hold up. Can he cost that?
Which one?
That's silly. Because
Solitary Commandment costs 3.
oh, that's just silly, isn't it?
Oh yes,
Why does it cost 3?
because it's got a drawback.
I think Anger of the Gods would be great right here. Even like Pyroclasm.
Oh yeah, Pyroclasm is very strong.
Or Kozilek's Return.
Cosmos Return.
Yeah.
Fire Spout.
Fire Spout.
Let's see what Steve's doing now. Looks like another Enchantress is present. Draw 3 cards, 2 cards.
Is Steve gonna play what's that green card that's instant and untapped all your basics? Early Harvest?
Early Harvest, yeah. I don't think so.
I'm joking. Of course he's not gonna play that.
He does have a Replenish though.
That is awesome. Yes, Replenish is a good card.
It's great. You go to your discard, you discard all these enchantments, and you replenish them back, and then you play your Sarah Sanctum.
And it doesn't target, right?
Replenish? Nope. It says return all. I think I'm pretty sure it's also. I think it's also both players.
Oh yeah, you're right. I mean it's a 4 mana, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
4 mana sorcery.
Teague stops that guy.
To answer the question in the chat, he scepters off using Gideon of the Trials' emblem and Final Fortune.
Alrighty. You guys wanted the prison mirror. You got it. Alright, Sarah Sanctum has finally hit the battlefield. And he definitely
2,
has
3, 4.
lots of mana.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
9. And then
9.
you've got 10, 11,
10,
12,
11,
13, 14.
12, 13.
He's got enough.
14.
Emrakul.
Announce your trigger. Cast trigger.
Cast trigger, get an extra turn. Now he gets the extra turns.
Oh yeah. Sometimes the Enchantress decks play in a Caracas. You can literally take infinite turns with your Emrakul.
Oh, I've done that plenty of time in Cloudburst.
Oh yeah, that's the best thing. That's back when they could actually play Primeval Titan.
Yeah. So, for any of you guys joining us here, welcome to the EDH stream here at Mox Boarding. No, I'm just joking, guys. We are here, the Legacy stream at Mox Boarding House. We're currently viewing and watching a Prison Mirror in round 3 for the Legacy Mondays in Ballad Mox Boarding House. Hope you guys are having a wonderful prison-y time. Steve is here, going off with his Enchantress, and Curtis is trying to win with his Finding Fortune prison deck.
But yeah. Depending on how many cards Steve has left in his library, he is certainly at risk of decking himself if he casts too many enchantments. Because now the Emrakul's in play, he can't shuffle his graveyard back.
Oh, Knight of Awesome. Knight of Autumn. I call him Awesome.
That's a good one.
That is a very good one. Kill the. That's an exile.
It's an
Yeah.
exile,
Kill the
yeah.
Icicle Scepter. I love it.
Gonna cast out to boot. Oh, I would just like to go to my next turn. This is attack for 21.
Attack of everything.
So
Attack.
Curtis can technically sack all his lands to the Zurin Orb
What?
to
You're right.
gain 10 life and survive.
But he didn't attack with everything. He just attacked with the Emrakul.
Yeah, why not attack everything?
I think he wants to give him an extra turn. Alright, he's gonna take 15. And then he's gonna have the Skull Rack unactivatable.
This is when you play your Caracas and then bounce your Emrakul.
You see him taking the damage. He's like, I'll take 15.
Oh yeah, play out for the cameras.
That's it.
Got 4 minutes
Overring,
left on the clock.
target your Emrakul. Oh, damn. Unlucky. Oh, you're right.
Oof does have Zurin Orb.
Why would you
I
leave?
forgot about the Oof. It was buried under all these other random permanents.
Yeah, Steve just trying to play some EDH here. Good games.
Oh yes.
All right. And that was game 1, guys. No, I'm joking. It was game 2.
That was game 2. Enchantress gets there. It was turned out to be the better prison deck.
All right, we're going to swing it back to the booth. Thanks for playing there, Curtis and Steve. It was fantastic. All righty. Welcome back, guys. We're here at the end of round 3. We just watched 2 prison decks battle it out.
That's exactly why we come here, to watch some stuff like that. Say, show up on camera and just do some fun stuff.
Yeah, that's what I love about Legacy here. Is everyone brings a wide diversity of decks. We're seeing a lot of Delver today, a lot of Ren and 6, and and just the fun brews. All right, everyone here to have fun.
Oh yeah. Chat. There's sadly no reanimator in the room, which is like, hey, no
Funny
reanimator.
that, eh? I always see at least 1 or 2 like mono blacks.
Yeah, especially because the London Mulligan probably signified that reanimator may come back a little bit, because like your hands are just so much more consistent when you start either digging a little deeper for the pieces you need or shoving the bad ones back.
Yeah, I've always wanted to play Reanimator because I just really one of my favorite cards in that deck is when people play main deck Sire of Insanity.
Oh, that one has killed me many times.
I love that card. It's just like turn 1 ritual Sire, Entomb Sire, Reanimate, whatever. Lose your hand. We're going to town.
I mean, the last time my opponent put that into play against me, it was on turn 3. I had 3 lands in play, and my discard was 3 copies of Echo of Aeons. I was like, I'll discard these Echoes. Okay, went to my turn, I'll flash it back 7. And the game ended when my opponent, I wheeled. Then he put, so I crypted him, he had no yard.
Yep.
I was like, cool. So the Sire left play. So I was like, cool. And he was like, okay, Gristlebrand, I'm going to cast Exhume. I'm like, okay, I'll crypt you because I had to. It's like, I'll still respond to your Exhume. Cast my own Entomb Mentor, and then use your Exhume to put Mentor into play, and then cast a Brainstorm. It's like, go to my turn with like 2 tokens, the token and a Mentor. It's like, oh, sweet. And I attacked him for 11. After that, it was great, and had so many tokens.
Oh, seems good. I mean, you literally gave him a new hand as well, but you
Yeah.
also got a new hand.
Yeah. I had a new hand, but his hand was like, oh, I'm going to try to Exhume a Gristlebrand. It's like, oh, cool. You're staring at my Tormod's Crypt, and then now I'm going to Exhume my Mentor into play.
That's pretty good. I love it.
It was good. Echo Storm is legit.
Echo Storm, yeah. I seen like as soon as that Echo card came out, people were like, "Oh, this just looks amazing with LED."
Yeah, it's so funny.
Match made heaven. It's like when 2 people think they're perfect for a date, and then they try it, and they're like, "It was fun, but I don't think that we are gonna work out in a relationship." But they're like still gonna have fun and be friends with benefits.
Oh yes, That's but the perfect match is Goblin Charbelcher. When you're mulligan to 2 cards, your 2 cards are LED Echo Beyonds, and you just kill them
But
with your
Charbusher
Goblin
doesn't
Charger.
even Charbusher doesn't even play blue.
I mean, it doesn't matter if you have LED.
You're right. Everything's possible,
Well,
right?
here's like I'm gonna make like 6 mana LED wheel. Yeah, Echoes is a does have the same text as Time Twister. It is just flashback between a blue or pay 4 blue to cast out a hand.
And it doesn't even exile itself, does it?
It does not exile when you cast it. No, it only exiles on your.
I mean, that
flashback.
makes sense because it has flashback. So if it did, it would be a little bit.
Yeah, it wouldn't be very
bonkers.
good.
Yeah. Alrighty. We are approaching the end of round 3. And we're just going to chill out, wait until probably take a quick 5-minute break. And then
Oh,
we're going to
yes.
come back and try to figure out who is 3-0. And then also figure out who we want to have feature match in the last round.
Oh, yep.
Alright, while we wait up, we're going to just put up a quick meta game. And I think while in chat, while you guys are waiting, please type out what you guys want to see in the decks. We have like lots of Delvers, we have 4-color controls, we have Loam, we have D&T, we have all the best decks. Type in chat what you guys want. We're going to take a quick 5-minute.
Yeah, some of the other spicy stuff. There's a Turbo Depths, multiple 4-color Loams.
Yeah.
We've seen there's Mills still around. Mills 2-1. Maybe we'll bring him up.
Mhm.
Multiple Monaway Barmans. You have a straight up Junt too. If you want to see some grind, someone get their grind on. It's not. Yeah, it is Ren Jund. Just Jund.
It looks.
It's like hymns and stuff.
I actually do sort of want to see that. I love John.
Do like some Jund.
Yeah. Alrighty. We'll be back in 5 minutes.
Yep.
Hello, folks. We're here. We just have the pairings for round 4. We're back in the Legacy action here at Mox Boarding House. We're looking at the round 4. What do we see here, Kelvin?
Okay, so in the first table, we have Rug Delver versus the Nia Maverick. We saw round 1. So Miranda's taking that's a pretty nice night, up to currently 3-0.
Mm-hmm.
We have Travis Horrible on 4-color control versus another Rug Delver, played by Matt Saxon. And we have Ian McCarthy. I'm pretty sure. Where is this one? Ian McCarthy is on post versus Kyle on. Where's F's?
I sort of want to see that because I'm actually a post
Dredge.
player. So
Post
I
versus
can give a lot of
Dredge.
insight. Oh, wait, that's actually going to be really bad. It's going to go really fast. Yeah, no, we
Yeah.
don't want to see that.
Then we have another Blue Red versus Stoneblade. So let's get table 2.
Yeah, table 2, Travis, yeah.
Yeah.
It's Matt. We want to get Matt before. We'll get the judges to put table
This is going to
2
be a grind. This is the 4-color Renin 6 pile control deck.
We haven't seen 4-color today, have we?
No, versus Rug Delver, which is a sleeker sleeker Renin 6 build.
Whoa, Rug. Is that means the goose is going to be
The
loose?
goose is going to be loose.
Oh, wait, I love it. Give me a sec. I'm going to get the judges to, I think they're dealing out with credit, but, or something. They're talking to the
Yes.
judge about stuff. Hopefully they don't split, because sometimes people split, and that's why they're...
I can go
You go check
wrangle
table
our
2.
players. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Matt always battles it out, so... Rug Delver versus 4-color control. I think that's going to be an interesting matchup if we can get them on the feature match. Wow, I'm like really tall for some reason. Hello. But we're going to get Kelvin to see if those guys want to jump on the feature. We have not seen some 4-color control today. That'd be really exciting. Very excited. Don't see Matthew Saxon in that group of people walking to the credit table. You got him? Fantastic. All right, we'll swing it over to the feature match. And let me just fix up these names. We have Matthew Saxon.
Matthew Saxon playing Rug Delver, who is on the play for game 1.
He's on the play.
On the play, won the die roll.
He won the Dara Gotcha and Travis, right?
We have Travis Horrible.
Probably.
Oh, so it's HOBRLA.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, nice.
And what's Travis on?
He is on the 4-color Ren pile.
4-color W6 pile.
Oh yeah,
So many acronyms. And Matt's on
Rug Delver.
Rug Delver. And we're gonna.
Look, we actually got a couple of Dredge players.
Whether they're the right sides.
They're on the right sides. That is Matt Saxon.
Yeah, oh, yeah. He's always got the funny mats. But also, it's good to be able to see some 4-color pile in the stream tonight because obviously everyone's saying it's very
yeah.
popular lately.
Oh yeah, but also in our top 7 tables, we have 3 Dredge decks.
Yeah, wow. People
People
just going to town, man.
Oh yes.
You notice that today there's no like hard control decks. I've noticed.
No, it's all like the Miracles is like the hard desk, and that's like not
There's two
really.
of those. But yeah, they're
Yeah.
like apart from that, like I have not seen like normally we have actually a higher influx of like miracles or Jeskai or
Yeah.
like control deck. But yeah, we've seen a bunch here and there, but I haven't seen much hard blue control decks. Anyways, I think Matthew's on the play, right?
Matthew is on the play,
Nice.
which is very good for the Stifle Days deck. So the Renin 6 pile, very awkward mana base, very weak to the Wasteland Stifle plan if it cannot resolve a Renin 6.
Yeah, Rug Delver definitely plays Wasteland, doesn't it?
Oh yes, and it looks like Travis is going down to 6.
Down to 7. No,
Oh yes, yes,
just joking.
down to 7. Taking a trip to London. I think I see Goose Days in Matt's hand. Something else.
Yeah, man, these 4-color decks are just really, really crazy greedy. I've noticed
It's a Goif.
4 colors plus Wasteland, you're basically 5 colors.
Yeah. Delta into Delver. So this opening for Matt really signifies that he is either has a Daze draw or he's really running late on card like Stifle or Spell Pierce. Because that's what even though you're a Delver deck, playing Delver on turn 1 is not usually the plan out of the Rogue Delver deck.
Oh, really? What's that?
It's because denying your opponent resources is usually the way you win games because Delver's just so easy to answer. So if you take a theoretical opening where you go land Delver and they go crack their fetch, pass back,
Mhm.
that's less ideal than you going land, watching them fetch, or watching them play the fetch, stifling it. Or if they don't fetch because they can't move, at least you bluff a stifle, then you go play my second land, cast Delver, still have stifle up, and make your opponent just play very, very awkwardly in order to avoid a stifle.
So yeah, obviously, yeah, like just slowing that explanation down a little bit there.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's probably the heads-up play that Travis knew there, that he would fetch his land on his own turn intentionally to try to play around Stifle, right?
Oh, yeah. And then stifle was the reveal for the Delver, too.
Okay, good points, good points. But he didn't he fetched it before.
Yes, before
So,
he saw it.
so obviously he had some heads up, already knowing that Matthew was potentially a Delver grabbing a tropical island is a clear sign to say, hey, you're probably playing Stifle.
Yes, you're definitely the rug build.
Yep. Because apart from Travis already knowing Matthew may or may not be on rug pile, you have to try to think about the circumstance in case they're playing at a GP and you just
Oh,
don't
yes.
know who your opponent is. You don't know what they're playing, but you have to be able to learn how to read the signs.
Yeah, especially there are a lot of times when you go fetch pass, it's because it's just so advantageous if someone fetches into your stifle.
Mhm.
If someone fetches into your stifle, it's sometimes just a huge blowout that it's worth giving up a little bit of tempo having the Delver. That's huge because
That
Tarmogoyf
is huge,
is something very hard for this Delver deck to answer.
especially with already the land ponder and days. Or
Yeah.
like something, I'm sure Travis has plenty of instant spells. That Goyf would have been a big boy for a very quick while.
Oh yes, and that could actually race a Delver because Matt actually missed his second land, but I think he top decked a Volcanic off the last draw step.
Oh, you're right. That's a very good, relevant point to point out there. Is Travis? Is that a snow island, or is that just a
That
full-out
is a
island?
snow island.
Is there any reason why he's playing snow islands?
He's probably playing multiple more copies. He's probably playing the Snow Strix.
Mhm.
That looks like he's playing Punishing Fire too with the play that go over the Burn Willows, and he may be playing cards like Dead of Winter as his sweeper of choice.
Interesting, and you can see that he's.
I think it's a Punishing Fire. Yeah,
Yeah.
Punishing
I
Fire.
didn't
That's
see-
very good.
Yeah, that was very good. He's doing that on upkeep.
So Punishing Fire is a lot less good against the rug builds, as it can only target Delver. Is the only thing it can target.
Any particular reason why you think he did it on his upkeep instead of Matt on his own turn?
Well, I think Matt had the land on tap, so if Matt had something like Spell Pierce and wanted to Spell Pierce the Punishing Fire, casting it on Travis's own turn, he can Spell Pierce and then untap, cast his own spell. But if he does it on Matt's upkeep, he's forced him to tap the land on Matt's turn.
Yeah, so he's trying to because I think to Travis, there's no difference doing it on his own turn to compared to doing it on his upkeep.
This
right?
is a Thought Seize. This is a very aggressive play, mainly because he takes two, but also that's going to put another card in Matt's graveyard. And then that means that Goose is most likely going to be loose for next turn. And Travis cannot interact with that with targeted removal.
Yeah, that Nimble Mongoose is very, very strong, especially having Shroud. And if it resolves with counterspell backup, mate, that's a loose goose.
Yeah, but the thing is that Ren Pile is playing copies of Tarmogoyf, which do a fairly good job of blocking all sorts of Nimble Mongoose shenanigans.
Yep. So you can see here Matthew responding to the Thought Seize. So the goose is resolved, right?
Goose is in play. This is on Travis's main phase while he's Thought Seizing Matt. Matt is responding with a Brainstorm.
Gotcha.
And Travis definitely tried clearing the way for something, taking a look at Matt's hand and make sure there's nothing in it.
True name.
True Name. So if Travis is on the Goyf plan, I think True Name has to be the take. Because the Delver, True Name you cannot kill with conventional means. The Delver in Matt's hand, that one can be answered with most things. So if you've gone the Tarmogoyf or I think Baleful Strix plan. But yeah, so I think True Name is the take, signifying that Travis is on the Tarmogoyf plan.
Yeah, but the thing about this, like this Goyf is potentially like a 4/5 or
It's
a
a 4.
5/6.
It's a 4/5.
Like, is it fast enough?
It can block.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
He's
So, but against Delver Lightning Bolt, the Delver's probably going to flip because Matt did just Brainstorm. So against Delver Bolt Spell Pierce Stifle, because what Stifle does is it can really delay the Punishing Fire, as you can stifle the life gain trigger on the Punishing Fire, so you can delay them another turn.
Yep, that's true. Yeah. Oh wow, but these 4-color piles, mate, they just want all the value in all the colors.
Yeah. So I think Matt may be tucking December too. 'Cause I think I saw a black card earlier in his hand.
I thought I saw a Dismember. Yeah.
I don't think this may be the top card of his library that he's trying to flip this Delver to. Yeah, so Matt playing around the Punishing Fire, probably going to try to catch it in the graveyard again and stifle, if he so chooses to go on that plan with try to catch the Graveyard Stifle a trigger to buy just enough time to start beating down with Delver. But it does not have that quite set up yet, so he's holding the Delver in hand.
Interesting. So now we're at a little bit of a stalemate where Goif does not want to attack, but also he has the potential to block all these gooses.
Because, yeah, Matt's way ahead in life.
So who do you think has the advantage by here?
If Matt actually did tuck the Dismember on top of his library, then I think Matt's in a very good spot.
Yeah. I mean, it's,
There it is.
yeah, we
There
see
it is. That's the
Dismember there.
Dismember.
It's paying for life, killing the Goif. What if Travis
So
has
Travis has any sort of interaction. I think Matt's only holding Spell Pierce.
Yeah, and very awkward that these guys have Shroud, right? Like,
Yes.
it's just like these punishing fires are nearly useless. Do we normally conventionally see like Dismember in Rug Delver?
Yes, 1 to 2 copies.
That's what I thought. It's not often, but you do see a couple floating around.
And now Travis is taking 6, and it's really precarious. He's a virtual 2 life. So he gets one more fetch until he's just dying to a lightning bolt.
Mhm.
But even if he does fetch, there's a stifle in Matt's hand that he knows about.
Maybe he's gonna play the
Snow Snake.
snake. Oh no,
Snap.
cast for the punish.
I don't think that he has this instant sorcery he can really cast. 'Cause this may be for a block.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, because
This
they
is punishing fires in hand.
3/3s, right?
There are 3. They are loose. That is exactly 7 cards.
Yep.
The yeah, so I think it's just a chump block, take 3.
Yep.
So it gives him a little more life to play with.
I mean, right now Travis is on the back foot, right?
Oh yes.
He's definitely trying to struggle for a little bit of air here. But he's got to play it out. He's got to figure out what the best line is. Right. Another land.
I mean, drawing the 5th duel is actually somewhat relevant because in the face of a stifle he knows about.
Does Rug Double play Force of Negation?
There's usually some copies. Usually either one or 2 main or 1 or 2 more in the it's either 1 or 2 main or 1 or 2 in the board.
Yeah, I've been seeing a few copies floating around, but are people playing Rug Delver to just try to beat up on these 4-color pile decks?
You also play Rug Delver because it beats up on Blue-Red Delver.
Ah,
Because
gotcha.
Blue-Red Delver is usually a little bit slower on the Delver clock and also cannot really interact with your threats at all.
Yeah, because they have Shroud.
They have Shroud, and also they're just bigger than your threats. Because Dreaded Arcanist doesn't do anything, it's a 3/3. The only thing they can do is try to resolve a True Nemesis against 4 copies of Stifle, 4 copies of Daze, 4 copies of Force of Will,
That's true.
while also being behind in a lot of races.
I mean, this is right now we're seeing it here. This is a great reflection of what Rug Delver does.
Oh, yeah.
It has good, cantrips, and it has good threats, and it just has a bunch of cheap interactive spells. I mean, Rug Delver's really bad against, Chalice of the Void, obviously.
Oh, yes.
But right now it's doing its job.
So Rug Delver can lose to, like, the most random, like, kind of just piles. Like, something like Dead Guy Ale, if you just, like, it's like, oh, look, I have a Toxic Deluge. Like, and you're like, I'm going to go to 2. And it's like, Toxic Deluge. And you can just lose to that.
Yep. But I think Rug Delver is perfectly streamed. It's an old deck that's also just been played a lot.
Oh, yes.
But there's a bolt.
You. Bolt you in response to the Ponder, try to play around and finding counter matchup. I think it should be at 1.
1. Yeah, 4 goes. We maths here. 4 should go to 1. I think he's just about to scoop it. He
He's
realizes.
dead.
Yeah, he realized it was dead anyway. So.
Yeah, so Hat just delvered him. I think he found the 1/2 of Dismember to clear Turbo Cat out of the way and just donked him a couple more times. Did not give him enough time to trying to draw out of it.
One thing I love about Matthew and his playstyle is that he just loves playing like the good decks that he's really good at.
Oh,
You know,
yes.
he'll play a bit of Bruce here and there, but he's just being very consistent and very strong with the decks that he's good at.
Oh, yeah. He also likes to play some Strawberry Shortcake.
Mm-hmm.
That's like the best deck name I usually see around.
Funny that actually, I had one of my trivia questions last week about strange deck names and what they did, and Magic has quite a few of the strange deck names.
Okay, here's my favorite. Trivia question for you. What makes Ice Station Zebra different from Tin Fins?
Okay, so I forgot
The
what.
answer is 1 card.
Okay, I forgot what Ice Station
2
Zebra
cards.
was. But yeah, what was the answer?
Dark Depths and Living Wish.
Hmm.
So it's Tin Fins. We're basically playing Dark Depths in a Living Wish package.
Yep.
And you get your children of Corliss
Oh yeah,
and your
you're right.
loyal retainers.
Oh yeah, you're right. Oh, that children is so annoying.
That's so funny.
The worst part is like you draw a million cards with Griselbrand, then you play Lotus Petal, play the children, and then you just like, oh, I'll put my life back to like 30. I mean, not life back. It's just like you just gained a bunch of life.
Yeah, it's like, oh wait, I've activated Griselbrand 6 times this turn. Oh, cool. I'll gain 42. The best part of that deck is like one way that deck wins is it casts a bunch of rituals. It goes with like infinite life. Casts a bunch of rituals. Cabal theories itself, named Emrakul the Aeon's Torn. Shuffles its graveyard back in, then redraws its deck, and then hardcasts Emrakul. The only way it generates enough mana is just by keep cycling and casting Dark Rituals and Cabal Rituals over and over again, just by putting it into its graveyard, shuffling it back in, and drawing it again.
Oh, that's crazy.
So Matt looks like he's cutting dazes, and looks like some stifles.
I guess he's on the draw, right?
Yeah, cutting daze on the draw makes sense. Cutting stifle against the 4-color greed pile is usually, even though it's less good on the draw, I think cutting people off their 3rd or 4th mana is usually very relevant in this kind of greedy pile, because also that means you can cut people off multiple colors.
I'm going to update the timer here. 37. Yeah, we have 37 minutes left on the clock.
Nice. So that's a pretty good length for game 1.
Yeah, it's pretty standard.
Travis can't find one of those voicemails.
Sure. Okay, yeah. So we have a little bit of a delay on the feature match. There's a card that's just going missing. It'll take a couple minutes to give the players a chance to find it.
Alrighty, I'm just going to double check here. We have 91 viewers tonight.
Oh, very nice.
Very nice.
Okay.
Thank you for joining us today, guys. We've gone through some magical matches tonight
Oh, yes.
of Legacy action here at Mox Boarding House. We're in round 4 now. What are we watching?
Well, right now we're watching the Rug Delver versus the new hotness right now, the 4-color Ren control pile, not white, kind of slushy deck.
It's funny
with
that
snow.
like Deathrite Shaman left, and people are like, "Yeah, 4-color, we're not going to play that anymore." And then they printed red, and everyone's just like, "We have a chance."
Yes, get these lands back. Oh yes, get all the lands back.
Yeah, and I think like 4-color Ren pile is like the definition of what is possible in Legacy. Like people think Legacy is a turn 2 format. Then you see decks like 4-color pile, and they're just like, we're playing all the best cards, all the best spells, with all the best lands. Let's
Oh
go.
yes,
YOLO.
oh yes. No. If Travis cannot find his card, the judge will handle it. Most likely, just ignore
Put a
it.
sideboard
Just,
card in.
just replace a card with the missing card.
Yeah, this is casual REO where we have 3 judges actually tonight. Crazy enough,
Mhm.
we have 3 judges on hand that are very experienced watching the match. But we're not as strict as REO because we're here to practice, to try to be the best. But we're not trying to punish people if there's a mistake, like hey,
Yes.
I forgot a card.
Yes.
So it's a good environment to be able to get better, but also at the same time you don't have to be intimidated by the strict rules of competitive REO.
Oh yeah. I think he will be resolved in a sec.
All right, we're gonna swing it back to the booth for a quick second here.
Oh yeah. Okay, so do you want to get quizzed on your knowledge of random Tinfin's variants?
Yeah. All right. We got like a minute or 2 on this, but sure, go ahead.
Okay. Bizarro.
As in, you're gonna be
Bizarro Tinfins is what card?
Bizarro. I don't know that one. I don't know Tin Fins. All right. What is Bizarro Tin Fins, guys?
It's chat's got it. It's Magus of the Mind.
I know what that does. That is a blue spell that it's like a time twister, is it? No.
No, even better.
Wait, you discard your hand, you draw 7. No.
No.
No. What's it
It's
do?
a 6-mana creature
Mm-hmm.
that says you can pay a blue and sacrifice it. Exile the top X cards of your deck +1, where X is the storm count. You can cast them all for free.
Wow.
So it's a Mind's Desire.
Oh yes, Mind's Desire. Yes. And but you need to give it haste, right?
Yeah, you Shallow Grave.
Shallow Grave, yes. And Shallow Grave doesn't... Wait, Shallow Grave is not like Gro's Vengeance when it has to target legendary. It just targets a creature on the
It doesn't
top.
target. It's the top graveyard of your... It's a top creature of your graveyard. So you
Nice.
use Shallow Grave and Corpse Dance to reanimate the top creature card of your graveyard. It
Mhm.
has haste.
Mhm.
Activate it for 8. It's like, look at all this free stuff.
That's awesome. That's really
And the best part about... Yeah, so the best part of the non-targeted reanimation is you have to play, cards like Ground Seal and Silent Gravestone to protect your own graveyard.
Yeah.
So people cannot surgical you.
Which is
That's great.
Exhume is another example of non-targeted graveyard, right?
Exhume is non-targeted, yeah.
I've had too many people make me discard Ulamog and then they target it. Then they put it in the play.
Oh, you don't have it on.
Okay. Match. Okay, it's back.
No, it's not. I mean, it's the sideboarding. I was showing you the life counter.
Oh, I mean,
Show you these life counters.
Sure, go ahead. No, we're just taking a quick
Yeah.
quick break. What is he showing us? Oh yeah, I've seen this guy.
that's
Yeah.
cool.
Nice. Yeah, I've seen these. These are pretty cool. They're like little clickety things.
Well, that's really pretty.
That's a pretty one. Yeah. Is that even magic? That's not magic, is it?
Maybe something.
That's nice.
Not sure.
Thank you, Michael Tessier.
Michael Tessier.
Tessier.
Michael Tessier playing Bomberman today.
What the hell's it going? How's it going?
Let's see. Crashed and burned.
It's okay. People will crash and burn. I mean, he's still learning.
I mean, it was his first time playing the deck. He picked most of it up. Right before the tournament started.
That was awesome. Thanks, man. Yeah, they
Yeah.
look really nice. I like the first one. The first one was sweet.
One's Ron Spencer, one's Rebecca Guay.
Yeah, that's
Ooh.
probably why I like the Rebecca Quay one.
Yeah.
Rebecca Guay is great. Yes. Anytime more than one card is put in your graveyard at the same time, you may select how they go into what order they go into the graveyard.
So yeah, if you want to repeat the question for the
There's a question in chat about there's a bug on Moto that if you activate LED to discard your hand, you don't get to reorder you don't get to order how your cards go into the graveyard. So you're playing with a card like Shallow Grave and you have multiple creatures in your hand and you want to reanimate Gristlebrand. You have to basically sack LED, and then in real life you get to just choose what your order is. But on Moto it's bugged, so you get a random order and you don't know what's going on, which really affects what happens if you cast Shallow Grave, full priority, and sack LED.
So you're saying in paper, in
paper.
normal rules.
Yes, in normal rules, whenever multiple cards go to the graveyard at the same time,
Yeah.
the player who controls those cards, it can select what order they go into the graveyard.
Nice. It's good to people to learn this sort of tip of the day.
Oh, yes.
It really helps people play at a higher competitive level.
Yes, but in Legacy and formats like Legacy, where cards older than like 8th edition are legal, you cannot reorder your graveyard because there are cards that depend on graveyard order, like Shallow Grave, Corpse Stance,
Yep.
Spinning Darkness, Nether Spirit. Yeah, Nether
Yeah,
Spirit.
Neuro Spirit. Yep.
That's Another Shadow. Another Shadow.
Another shadow. Yep. But
Yes.
even there, like that's super relevant in Legacy sometimes if it counts for the cards in your deck. But in formats like Modern,
Does not matter.
does not matter because there's no cards in Modern that count graveyard order.
Yeah, no, but they should print one just so not so those annoying Modern players keep putting 2 stacks. Like, this is my relevant graveyard cards. This is my not other graveyard cards.
It helps people that are new to the Magic as well. So.
I think just like, I mean, it's annoying because it gets so many confusing. You should have one pile. So if you see like a lot of like vintage dredge players or manaless dredge players, they dredge, they take their 6 cards and look at them, they order them, and then place them into the graveyard, which is technically what you should be doing.
Maybe we
Okay.
should have 4 piles. 4 piles of color.
Oh yes. Okay, looks like Matt fetch for Trop, probably leading on a Ponder or a creature.
Mhm.
Ponder, very nice. So leading on Ponder, usually if you're holding interaction, you keep that up. So Ponder signifies that he's digging for a creature or he's digging for interaction. So he either has a Tarmogoyf or a True Name or something larger than that. He is not holding something like Delver or Goose.
So naturally, you think that if you had a Delver or a Goose in hand, you'd just slam it turn 1?
You would certainly play it turn 1 if you're not holding anything else.
Okay, because he is on the draw, and this is interesting because we're sort of learning in the insides of
Yes.
the Rug Delver play.
But since your opponent went fetch pass, you certainly hold up Stifle there and try to catch him. But I don't think Matt has any Stifles left in the deck.
Because he's sideboarded him out, right?
Sideboard him out. So I think that's why he would just ponder there, trying to find a threat, trying to find some protection if he's trying to set up a Tarmogoyf for a True Name.
Gotcha. And you see a Brainstorm there fired off from Travis.
Yeah, just turn 2, especially trying to fire it off while the Stifle is down. Because one common play is when someone brainstorms, you stifle the fetch to make them redraw all the cards they didn't want.
Oh, that's sick. That's pretty good.
So I'm most likely going to see a main phase fetch. Even if he's not casting another spell, I would assume he's finding basic swamp to cast Thoughtseize or basic island just to hold up. He may be getting a duel to try to get all 4 colors in play, but that would signify he does not have another land.
Gotcha.
Ooh. Travis may be a little bit land late or be a little bit color intensive, like he's trying to cast a Ren in 6 next turn. Because most of the time, these basically run a basic swamp, a basic island, but then neither of those cards can cast Ren in 6. So I see here is that Travis is trying to set up for a Tarmogoyf for a Ren in 6 next turn.
Life is not all about Ren and 6, Kelvin.
I mean, in this matchup, it's pretty good. So Matt would fire off. Yes, firing off the Waste on the Chop is a really good call because you cannot cast Ren and 6 off Underground Sea.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I was about to say the relevance there of hitting the
This looks like a Tarmogoyf.
trop over the underground sea is really important. Nice thought season.
Thoughtseize you.
Maybe Cabal Therapy? I can't see the graveyard, but
I think it's a Thoughtseize. But I don't know why he would cast without leading on another land.
yeah, careful get a daze, right?
Ooh, Ren and
Ooh,
6.
look
That's a good one to get out of the hand. Matt, brainstorm response to his Delver. Make sure it flips.
Yep. This is upkeep, right?
Yep.
Yep. He's writing down the rest of the
Ooh,
hand.
looks like he's got a
so
second Wasteland in hand.
Seems pretty good.
So Travis, there. So yeah, Travis did not have the 3rd land as predicted. That's why he fetched aggressively for the Tropical Island.
But I was actually sort of excited this morning, today, when you're talking about the meta today, just to be able to see that Jund.
Ooh,
Love
John.
seeing Jund in Legacy.
Draws Bolt, blows up Travis's last land.
Wow,
Q.
missing a land drop and then getting Wasteland seems a bit rough, right?
I'm pretty sure as soon as Travis fetched the Trop off his 2nd land, Matt smelled blood in the water.
Yeah.
Because the only reason you would get Trop there is if you did not have additional land, you needed green mana, or you were trying to play a green threat next turn, which means you were weak to Wasteland.
Yep. What we need now is a Wasteland into Stifle.
Oh yes, I think there's no stifles. Like I don't think Matt is actually missing red mana,
Yeah, you're right.
and he's holding multiple bolts, but he may not even cast another spell this game and still be fine. He's holding Spell Pierce.
Well, it
Looks
makes
like.
sense that he grabbed off the Wooded Foothills. He grabbed a Trop because he had the Ren and 6 in his hand.
Yes.
You know, and he really wanted to. Because he probably has a higher chance to draw a Volk than a Trop.
Yes. Well, he also wanted to potentially had a goose. He was trying to leverage a goose, and that's what he wanted to find.
Mhm.
So if he was pondering looking for creatures, you get Trop because all of your creatures can be cast off.
Oh,
Instant Spell Pierce on the cantrip. No, if your opponent missed lands and then found a land, you definitely just fire off on these cantrip. Looks like, yeah, Matt holding up mana instead of playing Tarmogoyf, which is certainly a really good play.
there's the other fetch land.
Oh, Matt is holding Stifle. So he's got, I think it's the Misers or the 2 of Stifle.
He just kept a random.
This is
one
a
or two
5/6
cards
Goyf.
on there. Wow, this guy.
Or, no, 4/5. Never mind, there's no creature.
He's just fetching on. Oh, he's bolting.
I like this. I think that leaves Travis dead.
Wow. Good plays there by Saxon.
Very nicely played. Especially, I think he had the read. I'm pretty sure. And Travis just missing on lands and then got too far behind with a double Wasteland draw from Matt.
I think the most important thing to see there is that definitely his experience showed really
yes.
strongly there. That he's played the deck enough to know, I smell blood in the water. This is I'm changing, turning a sharp corner and going. This is my plan now, and definitely put on the pressure there.
But also, a lot of times Delver players get nervous. So when Travis had nothing in play, Matt, instead of casting Tarmogoyf, which had in hand, he left up 2 Trops and Spell Pierce, which is very much what you should be doing because the only thing the deck needs to be cantripping into lands or cantripping into answers to really have a chance, and cannot do that through a Spell Pierce. So I would just sit there, put the creature you have and just keep attacking, but then make them cast spells into your mana because. If you cast your Tarmogoyf, they will resolve a spell, and then let's say they draw a better spell and then push or bolt your Delver, like you can't do anything. But then if you make them tap their mana, you're basically guaranteeing you trade their turn for your spell.
Yep.
Which is what you want when you have the clock in play and they don't.
Yeah, it's all about the incremental sort of win of the arm wrestling fights, right?
Oh yes, Matt also making a good call, siding out Delvers, which is something I really like to do in the removal heavy matchup, especially with Ren and 6 pinging stuff.
What's the blue card there?
That is a Submerge.
And what's Submerge do?
Submerge is, as long as I'll just pull it up, but it's basically an answer to Tarmogoyf. So it says, as long as an opponent controls a forest, you may cast it for free. And it says, put target creature on top of its owner's library. So most commonly you'll see it as bouncing Merit Lages, or if someone fetches, you respond by tucking their Tarmogoyf and then making them shuffle it away.
Interesting, interesting. All right, we'll swing it back to the booth now. Thank you for the Smudge for the info there.
Oh yes, so that one is definitely played a lot more like 2015, 16, or 14 before Deathwatch Shaman was really the best card. When there's a bunch of rugged mirrors, because that was the only way in those colors besides like Dismember to answer a Tarmogoyf.
Anyways, that was a really good match. Like a
Oh
very
yes,
good showmanship from both sides there, from the Renpar and the Delver play to see like trading. Like it's a good like sort of walk through history
yes.
of playing a good threat, making good decisions through experience and understanding this is what I'm going to do at this point in time.
Oh yeah, that was definitely the really classic. What you would see is the aggro versus control in Legacy, because we don't really have like the 20 counter spell hard control deck, but also we don't have a lot of like the blitzy aggro decks. We have a lot more of like the aggro tempo or like the kind of faster control decks trying to leverage like extreme card advantage, just blowouts to really close the game out.
Definitely. Anyways, thanks for joining us today,
Yeah.
Kelvin, and I appreciate it. Hopefully, we'll see more of us on this stream. My
Oh
name's
yes.
Lee. Your name?
I'm Kelvin. Thank you for watching Card Kingdom's live Legacy stream and supporting Legacy over all the other things on Twitch. Your views are appreciated, and hopefully we'll see you back next week.
Definitely, definitely. We do this every Monday here at Ballard, and also they also have Legacy on Thursdays in Bellevue, here in Washington State. But yeah, come join us. They also play Modern on Sundays if you want to join the Ballard team there.
Oh yes, and I think we got a couple events coming up. I think there's an LP. I don't think there's an LPS, but I think there's a modern one kinda in about 2 or 3 weeks right now.
Yeah.
Going to be streamed on Saturday. It usually starts at noon.
Is that on this Saturday or
I think
next
it's in
Saturday?
it's in 3 weeks or something.
Okay.
I think it's the next like big event because I'm not sure when what's going on with the LPS or
Yeah, they're figuring out some stuff there. They
Yeah.
might be shifting around the frequencies of that, but we'll give you an update in the future when the LPS is updated. But also guaranteed, we always have Monday Legacy here.
Oh yeah.
Definitely trying to tune in and watch us here. We love talking Legacy. We love showing some of the newest and hottest decks here. But thank you for
yes.
watching.
Thank you.
All right, have a good night, guys. See ya.